What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to the coolest channel on the tube. You guys know what we do here, man. We break down scary and creepy videos that's gonna make us question everything. Everybody sit back, put on your thinking caps. Let's do what we do best, Seekers. Say it with me, y'all. Yeah, I know what we do. Seek the truth.
No, ain't that cool? Look at them clouds. Looks like a wave.
What the hell is that?
That neat?
Who messed with the clouds? They're playing with us, man. Right in front of our faces.
33. 3. All died. They're moving inside. You've got a bit more symbolism here. Clearly 3 sixes all around this fruit. Foxes, classic. Numerology, fox, 666. Here we have some strong bow people. Whenever you see the bow there, that's a reference to Saturn. The ring around Saturn, strong bow. It's not just robbing sons, it's robbing daughters as well. Robbing them of their health, loaded with chemicals. Real fruit in every drop. Where's the fruit, mate? Where is the fruit? One ring to rule them all. Sauron is running Aldi, people. That logo is Saturn. And that logo
What the hell
is
is
Saturn.
Walkers?
Now, Coca-Cola is a little bit more difficult to spot because it is inverted, but clearly we've got the sixes all along here. When you look at it like this, you might not notice it, but if you invert it, 6, 6, 6, 100 millimeters, 10 grams of sugar. And then this whole section, just leave it alone, people. It's all Monsanto, it's all GMO wheat, cereal killers.
What they got going on in Phoenix, man? Looks like reality is like tearing the hole, bro, in space.
Walk out your door and look to the west. And there's these funny blue wings falling from, like, literally from the sky. Been about 3 or 4 of them.
I don't know what that is, bro.
Place somewhere in the United States where they can manipulate space and time, and I could see what they can do. That's when I went, wow. I saw different doors, right? 2090, the year 2090. I saw the year 2050. I saw the year 1940, and I saw the year 1550. These different doors, right? They had the dates on top. And what I saw was Nordic beings that looked like us. They were in charge of this technology that can go to different times. And we saw people coming back from the 2090s, coming back like with futuristic type of technology and clothes. And they take off their clothes, they go through a tube thing for cleansing, and they come back and they go to another year. The guy that was with me, he said, "Let me get we need to get the hell out of here. We can't see this. We need to get the heck out of here, because what we're seeing, I don't think we should be experiencing this."
Celebrities are using liquid crystal technology to be able to shapeshift and change. That's the claim of this YouTuber whose name is Offshoot1008, and he does some amazing painstaking work. His belief is that there is a technology that they use in their hair and they put on their skin, and that essentially allows them, a bit like a chameleon, that's how chameleons are able to change. So it's a real thing. These reptiles are already doing it. So if we took it a step further, why wouldn't a reptilian race have the ability to shapeshift as well using this liquid crystal technology? And if you can see in his videos, if you want to go ahead, take a look, is on YouTube, you can actually see when he slows it down, you can see the eyes change when they open their mouth, weird anomalies. Now this is a really good, I just wanted to pick up on this one and let you know about this guy on YouTube in case you weren't aware, because it seems a lot of people are interested in the anomaly of so many celebrities looking alike and glitching.
I'm pretty sure the NBA is not going to
Interesting.
like the fact that Jeremy Lin just exposed what a lot of us already knew and a lot of people was thinking, that the NBA is rigged. It's some rigging to it. Listen to what Jeremy Lin said, and then y'all got to watch the Dwight Howard body language. It don't lie, fool.
Trying to throw anyone under the bus, but There was one specific game where it really hit me was I had 20 and 10 after 3 quarters. We were up about 15 to 18. And in the fourth quarter in overtime, I didn't play 1 second.
I think he was
And so I was looking at the assistant coach, watching our lead go down. I have 20 and 10 after 3 quarters. Like, I'm on pace to have a real nice game. And like, and he goes, yeah, we got a call from above. You're done for tonight.
They call.
And so I was like, what? Like, who picked up the phone? How'd y'all get on the phone in the middle of the game? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what happened? And when they got a look from somebody in the crowd was like, no, it's like, so me and this other player, the other player who was doing really, he had like 25 after 3 quarters. They were both like, yo, those two, they're done. And so we ended up losing in overtime. And this was against another team that was also tied for last. And they were trying to get, you know, the best projection.
So essentially, he was saying the team that he was on, which I believe it was the Knicks, they were tanking games. Somebody higher up was like, hey, take them out. We got to lose these games. I don't think this is nothing new to me. I'm already hip to the game. Y'all let me know down below in the comments how y'all feel about this, though.
I mean, it was freaking tanking, bro. But the fact that he said he had like 20-10 after 3 quarters and then played like 4th in overtime, bro. I mean, it was literally confirmed this year, right? That's why Adam Silver, like, they had to come out with like a whole new plan to like stop teams from tanking, bro. Especially with the Utah Jazz, man. We saw what they was doing, man. It was getting bad out there, bro. What's up with these freaking sports? It's all like freaking insider information, man. Just to get the best. Just to get the so they can get the most money, man, when they be placing these bets and crap, bro. Or trying to get a draft pick. All this is still allegedly, though, so.
I've never seen an orb like this one because it has a message in it right there. This is a slowed down shot of the orb, but I'm going to show you some still images that show the digits that are in there very clearly.
Show us.
My dad is Chris Bledsoe. We filmed this at Wrightsville Beach during the State of the World Forum. This orb came out of the water and we watched it on the horizon for quite a while. He filmed this with his fancy camera. That's the original. This is an enhanced version.
0350.
This is it reflected, and here's another enhanced version. The same orb at a different time. This is the year of alignment, everyone. Just like the lady told my dad in 2012, our world is going to come into a new knowledge, and it seems like the phenomenon is speaking to us in more clear ways than they ever have before. They let us film this so that you could see it.
Can anybody tell me what's going on with this pine tree?
Nope. Can't lie to you, bro. What is that?
I don't get it.
I'm often asked, are there aliens among us? And I'll say that I am one, but...
Did y'all hear what he just said? Or was it just me, bro? It can't just be me.
Or you're from the future. They don't believe me. I think if anyone would know if there are aliens among us, it would be me. We have 9,000 satellites up there, and not once have we had to maneuver around an alien spaceship. So I'm like, I don't know. Bottom line is, I think we need to assume that life and consciousness is extremely rare, and it might only be us. And if that's the case, then we need to do everything possible to ensure that the light of consciousness is not extinguished. The way I view it is, the image in my mind is of a tiny candle in a vast darkness, a tiny candle of consciousness that could easily go out. And that's why it's important to make life multiplanetary, such that if there is a natural disaster or a man-made disaster on Earth, that consciousness continues. That's the purpose of SpaceX.
You know, I must an alien, bro. Confirm.
Look right there, yo. Those are those evil children they're always talking about. Threatening me.
He's still
crazy is that? Isn't that wild? Okay, calm down.
I'm confused.
You're confused? Yo, this spring, we are going across here Because if you look, I don't know if you can see it because of the fog. No, you can't see it. It's too foggy. There's a chimney of an abandoned colonial house over here in these woods. This spring we're going, yo.
Beside you.
Oh, I'm out.
I might even.
This is why nobody talks about the Bermuda Triangle anymore. Yeah, did you hear that they found an underwater UFO base in the Bermuda Triangle? For decades, we've all been wondering what really happens down there. People have blamed things like rogue waves, compass errors, methane bubbles, all of which have caused the disappearance of dozens of ships and planes over the years. But the truth might be way more concerning. Because according to an alleged whistleblower leak, the Bermuda Triangle isn't just a ship and plane graveyard. It might just be home to this cloaked UFO facility that may have gotten here through a dimensional portal. Apparently, this isn't even just a base, it's an automated non-human intelligence factory that 3D prints UFOs custom built for different mission types. And it's believed to have been there for thousands of years, powered by massive crystal pyramids on the ocean floor. Now, this all sounds pretty out there, but maybe this could explain things like the electronic fog phenomena that pilots like Bruce Gernon have talked about over the years, along with time anomalies, compasses going haywire, and flights arriving way too early or way too late from their schedule, like time got bent somehow, even though the trip felt normal to the pilot. So if you've ever wondered why Flight 19 vanished, or why navigational instruments have been reported to just shut off on ships and planes, well, the leak claims that this facility has this automated defense perimeter, meaning that if you get too close, you either get vaporized or pulled through some kind of dimensional wormhole.
Anybody who know 50 wasn't going to be quiet. But when 50 was quiet, everybody was like, it's over for 50. He quiet. First 50 said he dropping a documentary about T.I. and China. Post that on his Instagram, delete it. And everybody like, yo, 50 is scared. But if you read that caption under it, he said new music coming. So he dropped new music. And 50 just dropped some shit that's gonna stick. Let me explain. I hear people saying those bars wasn't up to par. I hear people saying that T.I. song, King song, and Little T.I. song was better than 50 shit that he dropped. But here's the thing though. That's a new Power Origins theme song. Which would mean, anytime that show get played, let me say that to you again. Anytime that show gets played, you gonna hear about T.I. and Tank. Now, Tip dropped some shit too. And I'm not gonna lie, it's fire. Just like the rest of the songs that drop. But listen to this. After this beef shit die down, because you know it's gonna die down, we might not remember these songs. But every time we watch Power Origins, you gonna hear them bars. And on top of that, 50 said he dropping a documentary. I'm out.
Those 50 Cent beats, man, are always crazy, bro. I wasn't expecting 50 Cent and T.I. to be beefing in 2026, man. That wasn't on the bingo card. Stuck in a bottle factory, Sid Hill. What the heck?
So bro ordered a double quarter pounder. Look at the flaky beef. Somebody said they left the wrapper still on there, but no. That looked like a regular burger gone wrong. Got this double quarter pounder in my meal tonight. Double quarter pound. How's that giving you extra meat with plastic wrap? I done seen some people get a sandwich with no meat, just bun. No meat. Fast food, there's too many of these joints. I will never, ever forget this picture. There's always a Happy Meal close by. Makes no sense, bro. Health is wealth. You can make your own burger. You can make your own cheeseburger, your own fries. Then you're going to realize how you don't need to be eating that. See, you know what's the dupe of fast food, too? A lot of y'all wouldn't cook this. You wouldn't cook cheese fries with bacon bits and burgers. Like, if you had all these things in front of you and you was cooking, you would not be this unhealthy. But since it's so fast, like, let me get that. Let me get some chicken nuggets, too, and a burger, and some fries. And let me get a fish fillet. Like, come on, bro. You wouldn't even be eating all that at one time.
I see the balloon.
paid by Sam Altman for your biometric information. I thought you should know that. As a recap, this orb is Sam Altman's solution to verify that you're human, when AI is indistinguishable. But what the hell is a device that takes photographs of your eyes doing in a store that sells jeans? According to this plaque, it's harmless. They're both San Francisco-based companies just showing each other some love. When reporter Sydney Hayes asked in person, this is the response you got. I think you're asking too many questions. You're getting into the gap of it all. Oh, those are very legitimate questions given the individuals in this picture. We have the president and CEO of Gap Inc., the president and CEO of Gap Brand, and you probably know this guy is Zach Posen, who's the chief creative officer. So even though it's only in one store in San Francisco, that is not the goal. And World will tell you that back in September, they launched this partner program. Their goal is to have an extensive retail presence because they want every single human being to have their photograph taken of their eyes so they can verify that they're human. It lists 3 benefits, but the reality is the second one, it's all money. They're getting paid for every single human being who verifies themselves with the orb in their stores. This is a potential big source of revenue for a brand that has over 3,500 brick and mortar stores. I don't see any disclosure that they're being paid. Isn't that an FCC violation? Even if there were a disclosure, we still need clear rules on where you can put these things. So in addition to their flagship stores, which is fine, you find them at partners like Razer, or for any random person who purchases them and puts them in a place of business. And that's the reason you may find a biometric device in a Brazilian restaurant in Orlando. But you can imagine some opportunist is going to come along and try to place them in places that's going to get the most signups. For example, at a bar to take advantage of people being intoxicated. Or placing them in high poverty areas to take advantage of the fact they get $50 for signing up. Remember, that's the reason they started in developing countries in the first place. Last fall, when everyone was distracted with the Cat's Eye commercial or the Santa Leanne collab, Gap was going after your eyes when you weren't watching.
It's like, why would everybody was looking left? You're supposed to be looking right, bro. I had no idea, man, that they were freaking scanning people, bro. And they getting paid for it. Whew, man. I'm glad I watched these clips together with you guys, bro.
Truly horrific just went down at the U.S. Capitol building.
No one wants to fight for Israel!
Yeah, it's a very hard watch. But the reason why this happened is pretty significant. So during an Armed Services Subcommittee hearing, a Marine veteran and Senator candidate, Brian McGuinness, was forcibly removed and they ended up breaking his hand. Now, this happened after he stood up in the middle of the hearing and disrupted it by yelling this.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go.
Now that is when 2 officers grabbed him and attempted to drag McGuinness out of the room, which they explained later by saying that protests are not allowed inside the congressional buildings. But McGuinness did not go quietly. He resisted and he kept yelling. In fact, one of those men is actually one of the senators, Tim Sheehy, who joined the security. This is all while most senators in attendance refused to turn around.
Look at you guys, you're robots! You won't even look back! Oh my god, what is happening?
McGuinness now faces charges of assault on a police officer, resisting arrest, and more. But this comes as a debate in Washington is growing over how much influence Israel had in the U.S. entering this war with Iran, especially since Marco Rubio said this a couple of days ago.
There absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us.
But, as always, what do you guys think?
We're looking at once top secret footage from the Cold War. A top secret mission known as Project Iceworm. An operation to build an underground city beneath the ice of Greenland. Under the cover of Camp Century, a public science base. Utilizing diesel-powered streams of hot water, engineers cut long trenches into the ice, arched them with steel roofs, and then buried the whole grid under packed snow, concealing an entire hidden underground town with prefabricated buildings, corridors, and support spaces, designed to house roughly 200 personnel. Power came from a PM-2A portable nuclear reactor, with the purpose to enable a second strike capability in the case of an ICBM launched by the Soviet Union at the US. According to official reports, the reactor was removed and by the mid-60s, the base was abandoned. With recent news, it's not hard to wonder if Project Iceworm 2.0 is underway.
Oh, wow. What if I told you that half your body isn't even you? Meaning your body right now is more of a colony than a person, and it's running
way more of your body than you realize. They call it the microbiome, all while subconsciously affecting and controlling my mood and cravings. So you're telling me trillions of microscopic beings are living inside of me right now?
Hope they're having a good time.
You motherfuckers. Who's really in control here? Ain't that suspicious? Y'all don't find the gut-brain relationship suspicious? Y'all don't think that this thing is a super suit? No. This can't be.
But what's up with these underground cities, man? Jim Carrey, bro. People really think
Are y'all getting the message yet? Because why would a group of pastors come to the Oval Office and pray over the president for his protection and what's to come? You guys do know that America is in its karmic stages right now, y'all, right? And Trump is about to put down the hammer on this. Because in this video, Trump is like, he's the one that's the aggressor. Like, he don't need protection. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's about to go to war. And everything that's happening on the planet right now, y'all. And do y'all remember the beginning of this year when those shamans in Peru, they were having the ceremony over the water and they were doing some crazy things to Trump? Look at this. He looks demonic over here. Look at this. And then this over here, they were pouring some type of substance on his picture, man. And only him for some reason too, man. So what do they know? So what do you guys think is coming, right? Because these people hold some type of scripture. They know something that we don't. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They know something that we don't. They have access to the true books of history that has detailed information of what's actually to come. Because just like they need it, man. Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. The shit they see. Let's continue to get it. Peace out.
Brave man whose life was taken while he tried to protect his family at the Trump campaign rally. On July 13th, the 50-year-old Corey Comprador, his wife and 2 daughters attended the rally in Pennsylvania where Trump was speaking. The family sat on the stand right behind Trump when less than 10 minutes into the speech, the shooting began, and while Trump was hit in the right ear, 3 other people were also hit. These are 2 of the 3 victims, David Dutch and James Copenhaver. They were in critical condition but are expected to recover. Unfortunately, 50-year-old Corey did lose his life while he tried to protect his family. His wife Helen and his 2 daughters said that he died a hero, and the last words that he said to them was to get down before he threw them to the floor and covered them. Corey worked as a project and tooling engineer and was a firefighter of the Buffalo Township Volunteer Fire Company. After this tragic and sad incident, over $4.7 million has been donated to the victims, with Elon Musk donating $100,000 as well as Dana White and Kim Rock.
What's the most dangerous place on Earth? Number 8 is
story.
Lake Natron in Tanzania. The lake's so alkaline, animals get mummified. 7, Morgan Island, off the coast of South Carolina. 4,000 monkeys all infected with the herpes B virus. 6 is Mexico's giant crystal cave, 1,000 feet underground. Cave is 113 degrees Fahrenheit and 100% humidity. 5, Oymyakon, Russia, the coldest town on Earth, reaching minus 50 degrees. Number 4, Runnet Island. In the 70s, the US government buried radioactive plutonium. Number 3, the K2 Summit, is the inhospitable mountain summit in the world. Number 2 is Snake Island, an island full of thousands of poisonous snakes. It's illegal to go here. Number 1 is North Sentinel Island, home to the indigenous people who have violently rejected contact with the outside world. So much so, if you even get close, they'll swim out to you and try to kill you.
I think the one that got to me the most was that freaking the island with the monkeys that said they had herpes. What the hell? They got a whole island to themselves, man. Please don't tell me people are actually, attempted to try to go to that monkey island, man. They did, bro. They're just out of their minds if they even attempt that. That it.
This priest tied himself to 1,000 colorful helium balloons and then was found in the ocean months later. On April 20th, 2008, 41-year-old Father Adiller DeCarli wanted to raise money to build a chapel in his hometown, so he chose to tie himself up to 1,000 helium balloons and float over the ocean. He also hoped to break the previous 19-hour record, but unfortunately, things ended tragically. On the morning of April 20th, Father Adiller was fully repaired to take off, and for safety reasons, he put on a helmet, waterproof coveralls, and an aluminum thermal flight suit, as well as a GPS tracker and a radio to communicate with people on the ground. Only a few hours after taking off, despite the radio and GPS tracker, Father Adiller disappeared and could not be located. The last thing that he said through the radio was that he was losing height and was going to land in the ocean. Search and rescue teams were immediately dispatched, and after 2 days, they found the colorful balloons in the sea off Brazil's southeast coast, but Father Adiller was not there. Then, a few months later, a body was found in the ocean, which turned out to be him. It was reported that the priest had reached an altitude of 20,000 feet and then was blown off course by the strong winds, causing his tragic death. Here are some things that are...
That's like basically the Up movie, bro. Using all those balloons floating in the air. That wind threw him off course, bro. I'm like, man, I wouldn't even attempt to do something like that, see, because that's just way too dangerous. These people are risk takers.
They're completely normal during the day, but really creepy at night. Digging holes in your backyard. I mean, it's your backyard, and you're entitled to do whatever you want to it, but if I see you digging some holes in the middle of the night, I'm gonna be really concerned. Bonus creepy points if you have some trash bags next to you, too. I feel bad for people who work graveyard shifts or are night owls, because it makes it difficult to do any gardening or landscaping without looking pretty creepy. They say a child's laughter is one of the most beautiful sounds in the world, but not if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Scary movies have absolutely ruined the sound of a child laughing for me, because most instances, I'm gonna assume the worst. And for some reason, little girls laughing are even more scary. Like, imagine being in the woods camping and you hear some little girl laughing in the distance. My brain isn't gonna think, oh cool, some family must be camping near us. No, I'm gonna think that I'm gonna get murdered or possessed by some demon. Someone knocking on your door. During the day, it's annoying. Who the fuck is showing up at my house unannounced? It must be a salesman or, worse, Mormons. That same knock at 3 in the morning? No, I'm getting murdered for sure. I'm on the 2nd floor, and my only way out is to jump out the window, so... I'm done for.
People just saw not one, but 2 great white sharks feasting on a humpback whale carcass off the coast of Cape Cod. And I bet you don't know why they need just so much food. The great white shark, or Carcharodon carcharias, can eat over 66 pounds of blubber in just one sitting, enough to sustain it for over a month. Great white sharks need to eat between 3 and 5% of their body weight every single day, meaning the largest members of their species could easily eat over 80 pounds of food a day. In large part, it's due to their biology. The great white shark can exceed lengths of 20 feet, weigh over 5,000 pounds, swim at about 35 miles an hour, and up to 50 miles a day. They are actually the largest macropredatory fish in the ocean and belong to a very unique family known as Lamnidae in the order Lamniformes, or mackerel sharks. In the family Lamnidae, there are 3 amazing genera, one including Carcharodon, or the great white, another which is known as Ischurus, including both the short and long fin mako, the fastest sharks in the ocean, and the lamna containing possibly the cutest shark in the ocean, known as the salmon shark and the porbeagle. What makes these sharks especially unique and also makes them a more effective predator than many other sharks is that they're regionally endothermic. Just like you and I, they can actually warm their own body without relying on ambient water temperature to heat and cool themselves. This basically allows them to outperform other shark species that don't have that biological function that live in the same cold waters that they often occupy.
So they like freaking evolving into a super predator, seekers. We seen evolution like right in front of our eyes, man. They like 60 pounds of blubber? Do you guys know how much that is? Tap in with us, you're gonna learn. That's it. Call it like we see it, man.
These are 8 horrifying facts that will probably keep you up at night. There are thousands of old diseases frozen in the glaciers of the world, and global warming will eventually release them all. If a person dies in their costume at Disney,
like Mickey Mouse. They have to be sat down on a bench so it looks like they're resting. Climate change is making spiders bigger. Some female spiders allow their young to eat them alive. Tooth in the eye surgery is when surgeons put a tooth in a blind person's eye to restore their sight. It was pioneered in the 1960s, and it actually works, and it's still being done today. The chances of a successful CPR outside of a hospital is only 7%. Cell phones are 10 times dirtier than a toilet seat. When you suddenly wake up during the night without any reason, there was someone or something staring at you. Yeah, there's a lot more, like for part 12.
Guys believe about the phones?
There's actually 5 different ways a snake can move. Holy hell! One where it moves in a straight line, or shifting the weight from front to back. Third one's just a normal slither, sidewinder. There's actually even a flying snake. Flatten its body to glide through the air. Flattened snake body provides enough lift to glide down safely from the tall trees of Indonesia.
A flying snake.
I
What the
went swimming
hell?
with sharks nearly ended up in the hospital, and not for any reason you think. Shout out to Nat Geo for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna change the way you look at sharks in less than 60 seconds. Let's get it. The author of Jaws, Peter Benchley, not only did he regret writing the book because of all the bad PR to sharks, he would dedicate the rest of his life to shark conservation. If Jaws were written today, the shark would be the victim. The Greenland shark is a slow bird glacier guppy that can not only live for up to 400 years, they don't hit baby making age until 150. 150, dude, and still young. Now, there's more than 500 types of sharks, so it's easy to miss one, like the chain cat shark, which happens to glow in the dark that's biofluorescence. The epaulet is a shark that disrespects the natural order by walking, using pelvic and pectoral fins to move around during low tide. Sharks use a type of camouflage called countershading, meaning if you're above them, they blend into the dark abyss, but if you're below them, their light underbelly gets lost in the light of the sky. When you've been around longer than trees, nature gives you perks like that. That's Anthony Mackie. It is, and he and Ross Edgley and many more will be a part of National Geographic Shark Fest airing on Disney Plus and Hulu. Check it out if you're ready to see sharks be anything but the bad guy. Oh, that's right. Well, I wasn't lying. The sharks are fine, but the ocean slammed me against the basket cage like it owed me money. So, moral of the story, I'm not afraid of sharks, just the ocean around it.
Creepy facts I bet you didn't know, part 1. Your lips and anus are connected by the same tube. 90% of serial killers choose their victims by sexual desire. Your organs move freely around your body. Crows used to follow armies to feed on dead bodies. Human sacrifice was a real thing in Aztec Mexico.
The more you know. Is that, I guess, where crows got the sign meaning from? Those like crows mean death or something like that. That makes
Creepy
sense.
last words people said right before dying. A nice old lady told a CNA that she wanted to wear all white. When asked why, she said the man in black is here. She looked in the corner of the room. The CNA looked, but there was no one there. That's when the nurse came into the room. They asked her to describe what she was seeing, and she said he's in all black, and he's got a top hat on. And then she whispered, and his eyes are red. While her eyes moved across the room to directly behind the CNA, like she was watching him move closer to them. She died later that night, but it was unexpected. That room creeped the nurse and the CNA out for a long time after that.
Facts that I wish I didn't know. When Gerardo Medina turned 18 years old, his mom, Lena, was 23, meaning she had her son at just 5 years old, making her the youngest mother ever. Sudden adult death syndrome is the thing, where your heart just stops seemingly for no reason, like a cardiac arrest, except no cardiac arrest can be detected. So dementia is what they say when there's symptoms of a decline in thinking skills and memory loss, and Alzheimer's is the disease that can cause it. And signs that you might grow up and have this can be detected as early as 3 years old. Not just that though, the symptoms too. Alzheimer's and dementia in children exists, meaning that anybody at any age can completely lose their mind and become a husk of themselves.
Scared to think about. Doesn't Chris Hemsworth have that? That's why I like to take a break from acting.
Saw Kids That Terrified Us, Part 2. This is the movie Caroline. It's about an 11-year-old girl named Caroline Jones and her parents who move into an old mansion. Caroline then meets a kid named Whitey, who gives her a button-eyed rag doll, which looks exactly like her. Caroline then finds a small door in her living room, which can only be unlocked by a button-shaped key.
After she unlocks it and goes in, she enters a completely different world and meets her other mother and father with buttons as eyes. Caroline then keeps going to this different world. The other mother then wants Caroline to stay in this world forever, but she has to get buttons sewed on her eyes. But Caroline does not want to do that and she wants to leave. Her other mother then transforms into a menacing, scary version of herself. The other mother then kidnaps Caroline's real parents, and this is where the movie gets crazy. So, if you've never seen this movie, I recommend go watching it right now.
Caroline movie. Imagine kids walking into that thing. It was just gonna be a nice, fun movie. No, it wasn't. It's scary,
Weird
bro.
fact of the day. The idea that ghosts look like this, where they're kind of translucent and float, is extremely recent, and it came about for an extremely specific reason. And I think it's really fascinating because it gets to how human culture is formed. Now, almost every culture in history has ghosts, and they show up in a million different ways. In some cases, they come back and possess animals, or they possess people, or they show up and they can only be seen at night. But prior to the 19th century, they were never described as this. They either just looked like normal, solid people. In some stories, the ghosts would physically attack you, or they would open doors or break down doors. And while they had the ability to disappear or suddenly appear in a room, they were never described like this. Until this invention came along. Back in the early 1800s, before cinema, when people were extremely bored, they invented this device which could project a still image onto a screen. And this gave rise to horror shows called Phantasmagoria, where the audience would gather in a darkened room and a screen would be lowered and they would project onto the screen skeletons and monsters and all sorts of other scary things. But because of the technical limitations of the technology, they could only be portrayed as floating. They couldn't walk around the floor. And because of the screen and the projector, they were always translucent. And according to this book by Susan Owens, The Ghost, A Cultural History, it was only after those shows became popular that you started to see the translucent ghost turn up in stories. This was also around the time of the dawn of photography, and then back then, because of the technology, you used to have to sit perfectly still for a very long time for it to develop properly on the film. This is why people rarely smiled in those photos. You couldn't hold a smile for several minutes. If you got up early or if you moved, it would accidentally create this ghostly image, and it did not take long for photographers to start selling ghost captured on film pictures. And from then on, when people claimed to see a ghost in their home, they would see this, the thing from the Phantasmagoria, the floating, translucent spirit. I feel like this is incredibly important to understand. Not only did media influence and totally alter our concept of what a human soul or spirit looked like, but a physical and technical limitation in that media did it. But 500 years from now, people will probably still be seeing this kind of ghost because of it.
Terrifying facts,
What do you guys think, man? He really broke down the ghost origins of how it all started off because of a tech glitch, yeah. Because of a tech glitch, because the technology was limited. It was basically on film, man. And the influence of how we see ghosts today. Think about it. One little mistake, man. Influence history. But think about it.
Never knew. If your immune system ever found out that you have eyeballs, you would go blind. Which means right now, your immune system has no clue that you can see. Because if it did, they would attack your eyeballs until you can no longer ever see. This is because your eyeballs have a protein in them called crystalline that doesn't exist anywhere else in your body. So if your immune system found out and checked them out, it would be like, something's wrong here. Studies show that most serial killers are born in November. Today's high school students have the same anxiety levels as insane asylum patients had in the 1950s. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, my anxiety might be up there too. There's a disease called fatal familial insomnia, where where people suddenly one day lose their ability to fall asleep, which leads them to slowly go insane. They can't distinguish dreams from reality anymore and go into some type of paranoia. It becomes so severe that they eventually die. Those that make it to the final stage and don't die usually end up in a vegetative state, no longer conscious. And it can happen to any one of you. About 3,000 people go missing every year in the United States. The last execution by guillotine was in 1977. This was in France. And also that was the same year the first Star Wars movie came out. You are always 6 minutes away from death, but breathing resets the clock. In 2011, Anatoly Yakovlevich was arrested for having 12 dolls in his apartment. Only problem is, they weren't normal dolls. They were recently deceased little girls that had been dug up and dressed to be put on display. In 2012, a Burger King employee anonymously posted this to 4chan. It said, "This is the lettuce you eat at Burger King." It only took 20 minutes for people to track down the branch that he worked at, and he was fired. You really never know what people are doing to your food. H.H. Holmes was a serial killer who built a torture hotel in the 19th century. He had secret rooms with gas chambers, trap doors, and stairs that led to nowhere. He loved to play with his victims' minds. It was almost like a real-life Saw movie. There's a bridge in Scotland called the Overtoun Bridge, and for some reason, dogs keep jumping off of it at the same spot. Yeah, they just jump to their deaths. Experts can't figure out why either. Some people speculate it's a magnetic field, or maybe a frequency that only they can hear, but others believe it's something supernatural. But whatever is making dogs jump off that bridge to their deaths is still to this day unexplained. Joe Matheny was an infamous serial killer who not only cooked his victims to eat for himself, but also made them into burgers, using their remains. He then sold them to unsuspecting customers from a roadside food stand. We really never know what we eat. I'm cooking all my food myself. That's why I don't eat over people's house. In 2021, a new homeowner was shocked to find a boarded up wall. When he ripped the boards off the wall, he discovered a hole. In that hole was a doll clutching a note. The note saying that she killed a family who lived there in the 1960s. Be honest, would you move out? In 1978, there was a pilot named Frederick Valentin. Him and his plane disappeared in Australia. His last communication was, "Melbourne, that strange aircraft is hovering above me again." It is hovering and it is not an aircraft. This is a mugshot of William West and William West. Oh, and they're not related at all, but they were both sent to Leavenworth Prison at the exact same time in 1903. And after some confusion, the staff finally figured it out. They were two different people who had the exact same name and looked identical. This was said to be one of the main reasons why we now use fingerprints to identify somebody. There's biotech being developed as we speak that can make prisoners feel they are serving an 1,000-year sentence in a matter of 8 hours. That's horrifying. Imagine thinking you spent 1,000 years somewhere, and then when you wake up and snap out of it, you realize that it was only a couple hours. Do you know how crazy that is? Anyways, like this video if you want a part 2.
It's not flat all round. Maybe we're living in one of these, but each one of these does have a perimeter. This is independent footage sent to me from Nick Osborne, and in the distance there you can clearly see there's some sort of ice wall or a wall of ice. It's down to you what you want to believe, whether there's land beyond this, whether this is the ice wall that contains the waters of the flat earth, or whether you want to believe that this is a cap on the bottom of a spinning ball. I sent that footage by Nick Osborne, who is actually from New Zealand. He's not from Australia, so my bad, forgive me brother. You can see in this message is beyond the 74th parallel. I was of the understanding that we can't go past the 60th parallel, so the plot thickens on what's really going on. So down to the observer and what you want to believe, but spinning balls or living in some sort of farm or hive. Question everything, people, because truth is often stranger than fiction.
Yep. So we like kept in by these hexagons?
One last look at the ice wall before we head north through the pack ice and head on home. She goes a long way.
Oh, that's the ice wall.
We're 1.5 miles off it, so it looks small, but it's quite high.
Thought it was a lot, but TikTok just rolled out a brand new feature that's gonna show your location to everybody. TikTok just dropped some shit called the local feed, and as you can see right there, it says local, and I bet you wondering what that means. And it's right next to the For You feed, it's right next to the following feed, it's right next to the shop. And explore. Guaranteed, once you find out what this is, you're gonna turn your location on faster than a month. So TikTok is basically saying that this feature is gonna show you content in the areas where you are. Restaurants, places to go, things to do, etc. But what they didn't say is that whenever you post, wherever you are, people are going to know wherever you're at. But maybe you're not worried about that. You're gonna be showing you content of people that's nearby you. So if you post in your house and that location is on, I'm guessing you already know the rest, right? But the good thing about this, you'll be able to stop it. They're gonna send you a location service request. And when they do, it's up to you to say, hey, I want to provide my location, or I don't want to provide my location. Either way, the choice is yours. So now I want to know what you're going to do. You're going to leave that location on, or you're going to turn that location on. Podcast on YouTube, Expensive Facts. I'm out.
I won't be turning my location off. Y'all ain't tracking me, bro. All these apps, man, just trying to track the location, bro, trying to just get that info. And so they could just put it out on the web, man. That's how bad things happen, bro. Turn that location off.
They could order foie gras, caviar, and lobster for every single meal for the rest of their lives and still own every house in your neighborhood. Okay? Why would they be ordering pizza?
Love you to come over for pizza, bud. How was the pizza? Was it good? What did he make it himself?
Amal's pizza was better than Clune's. They both made. Everybody made a certain kind of pizza.
There's no pizza we didn't love.
Something that he does.
5 different kinds. 5 different kinds or 6 different kinds of pizza that night. Clune's was excellent. Amal's was the winner.
Thank you very much for this prestigious award. To show my appreciation, I am inviting you all to a pizza party tonight at Jennifer Aniston's house. I'll see you there.
Her parties are incredible at her house, too.
Yeah, she does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza,
Wonderful,
yes.
wonderful pizza.
7,000 documents worth of pizza. It's not about pizza, is it? Mm-mm.
So with these secret code
Lord,
words.
give me patience for your timing. Because my wrath.
Here, check this out, family. What y'all looking at is a footage from 2009. Somebody captured the dog man in their backyard. Some more facts. This video is actually from the government archive. They basically saying this might be a legitimate video. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Is this creature really out here? Or it is just another experiment going wrong by the government? But on Fun and Great, shit is...
Well. So this picture was taken in you-know-where. And a lot of people are speculating that this is Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I can't be certain if this is true or not. What I believe, in my own opinion, is that he is still alive. Whether or not this is him, who knows? If you wanted to cover something up, it's very easy to say, but I'm not sure. I mean, this dude is looking very, very similar to Mr. Epstein, but again, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that this could be him? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Peace and love.
I just woke up. My power went out last night. The electrician is coming to check it out today. Weird stuff has been happening.
It's been an hour and this guy's still outside my house. I don't think this is a coincidence anymore.
Yep, hiding in plain sight. Like, this is crazy. He just stops in front of my house. They're not even trying to hide it anymore, bro. That's so weird.
Weird.
So awesome this Halloween movie. I can't say too much just yet, but I'm really excited to go on this journey with you all. Stay tuned.
If it's drugs or demonic possession, either one, you don't need to do none of them motherfuckers, because you freaked me out. Soon as I saw this shit go across Al Gore's motherfucking internet. Stop doing shit.
About elite use of free will. I mean, where do I sign up at? Special white breed and D. My boy went through his entire life, and now he has a job following Hauser cannons at a mountain causing an avalanche. What class do you sign up for that? Who like is handing that job out? Where do you even find out or sign up for some shit like this? Of course, it's Russia, and I mean, I'm hoping obviously you have to check to make sure there's no hikers and no ski people up there, because as you can see, Mars Very, you got to death. The Red Bull, nowhere in sight, so Wild City for vibes. You imagine, you just moving, grooving, vibing, sliding. You see a cannon, shot behind you, makes you know avalanche. Oh, hell no. But I know what? I want Buddy job, son. That look mad easy. mean, gotta take some aim. Can't be overshooting this shit. Fuck around, kill somebody. But are we sure we in the same server? I gotta think about how many missiles we shooting off a day, son. I mean, this could never go down in America because I give it 2 weeks. That missile right there would be turned to a house or a car or somebody innocent because, you know, that's the type of lunatic type of shit we have going on in America. But this right here is a job people will pay you to do. They be, hey man, this is me. I just want to try to fire cannon, son. Let me pull the fucking string. I'd be one of them. I'm like, hey man, fuck it. I'll pay you 100 right now. Let me do this shit. Get it on the gram, son. I'm about to cause an avalanche. First time in my life. Probably last time too. I didn't even know this was an option, my nigga. I also got, is this an everyday thing? Cause don't think I ain't beat. I see that other Hauser right there in the Cadillac garage shop. Where's that one being shot at? And how do you know what position to hit it in the mountain? And obviously, you ain't new to this. You true to this because you caused the avalanche. And I feel like this is what you was trying to do. But I got a lot of questions, not a lot of answers. Very new to this. So please, comments, let me know.
I'm actually a Draconian from Alpha Draconis, and your government is actually letting AI exist so that it would be undistinguishable from existence and what's actually real. So you might be watching this and think to yourself, that's gotta be AI. There's no way. But what if it's not? Like, really? What if it's really not?
And that's what's scary, bro. There's a chance that could be real, man. Like you said, with AI, it's getting hard to distinguish things. You can't tell what's fake or what's real anymore, bro. What happens if there are beings like that in society, bro, now coming out because of the existence of AI? Just think about that. We would never know. We just dismiss it as AI, and they hitting in plain sight. Put your thinking cap on, seekers, bro.
So people just coming to a realization that this motherfucking world is ran by demonic entities. Because only a demonic motherfucker will eat a motherfucking baby. You heard it. You heard it. You saw this shit. These motherfuckers said that babies taste like cream cheese, dog. Like, I don't know about it. That's why I hate the motherfucking internet and social media. That's why I only post and get the fuck off the motherfucker, because people are going to work. People are living life like ain't shit happened. Like, this some normal shit. Shit that we've been talking about for decades. And now all this shit coming out. Motherfuckers ain't getting arrested. Nothing. The news ain't talking about shit. Y'all talking about bullshit. Everybody posting on Facebook and Instagram talking about a bunch of bullshit all day, every day. Motherfucker, they are eating babies. They're doing human sacrifices.
Speak on it.
Blood rituals. Fucking with people's DNA. And you motherfuckers just posting memes all day. This is bullshit.
Hey fool, insects are dying. Better yet, insects are going extinct. Now I know to a lot of people they probably cheering and they happy as fuck. But y'all, that's not a good thing. The insects that are going extinct, we need them. So y'all better take this story serious. I'm serious. Scientists are saying bees, beetles, and butterflies are all disappearing. And they're talking about them Jones disappearing like quickly. They're calling this shit a critical red flag for ecological instability. That's crazy. No insects equals no pollination. No pollination equals no food. Less food, higher prices. Then the food chain collapses. Then the birds start disappearing. After that, the soil start getting fucked up because the quality is gonna be ass. As I seen this shit, I started thinking like, I really didn't see a lot of bees this year. Also didn't see a lot of beetles or butterflies. But now I know why. So they said the main reason is because of climate change and also people using pesticides. Now out of the 3 insects, the one that I really care the most about is bees. Them other Jones, I really don't give a fuck. If I had it my way, the 3 bugs that would go extinct is mosquitoes, bed bugs, and spiders. I'll let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments. What bugs would y'all want extinct?
What bugs y'all want extinct, bro? Spiders, meat centipedes. Third, yeah, beetles.
The one boy. Now listen to this. I have to tell you this. Okay. So after I left the party, and the next day I smoked with Michael,
And then I get in the limousine and I leave. I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal over here. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And my mom's there, she's like, tell them what happened. And I'm like, what do you mean tell them what happened? And I sit down with them and they all ask these super sexually exploiting, questions, backsided questions. And I knew that at my age already. And I looked at all 4 of them and I said, are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm gonna do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? That's what I told him. I was like, you're crazy. And I looked over at my mom and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, well, I think something happened, I think something. I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving, everything you could think of. We rode 4-wheelers for 5 hours, me, him, and Chris Tucker in the mountains at nighttime after his birthday party. Him and I hung out and talked pretty much all.
So many Epstein Files connections to Justin Bieber's Yummy video. First, let's talk about how he promoted the song by using a bunch of pictures of babies with the hashtag Yummy, and also wrote Yummy in pizza. And this word Yummy was used like 300 times in these Epstein Files. I haven't seen anybody point this out, but at the end of the video, there's a baby pig on the table. At the start of the video, we see him walking through the kitchen, going to the table with the old rich people as if he's being served. They have very young people as the entertainment. They show this girl, and here's her outfit, but we'll get into that. There's also paparazzi in the kitchen as in being filmed at this party. You see Justin with a sandwich in front of him, guarded by a piece of bread. On the sandwich is this red cherry or olive with red little sticks in them, which later becomes black with black sticks. Serving disgusting food with peas, P. Diddy, and this pink. I wanted to point out this looks like a pizza. You see Justin with a pink drink in front of him, messing around with this guy's glasses. All the adults are taking turns sitting down with him. You see an entertainer and Justin's cat in the middle of the table representing him entertaining. And that's when we see the black olive cherry. We also see the Puffs, Puff Daddy. During the lyrics, lost control of myself, I'm compromised. Annie winks. We see this pink goo with circus peanuts on top. During the words, you ain't never running low on supplies. And the pink drink, so think about the pink stuff at these parties. What do you think these peanuts could represent? You see them reaching for the food and them devouring the food. Justin with water and the pink drink, we see him messed up. Girls in white come out from under the table. Notice he's taking things off. We got the white party. Remind you of anybody? And the dance moves are eating. Yes, we see that red outfit on the chair. After the party, that outfit is there. We see this man eating cake. Allegedly could be this guy who founded the record label with Diddy. We see this guy with a bunch of pink drinks who looks similar to L.A. Reid. A baby pig on the table. Why a baby? Don't people usually like the big one? You see his plate with the cake, peas, and the cherries representing innocence, and then young him with the words yummy. Also used him in the cake holding a cherry to promote this. He had mental breakdowns during the filming of this. Ellen asked him what this song was about. He said his intimate life and then sipped tea. Alleged and entertainment purposes only.
Hey, I'm walking around San Francisco right now, and I haven't seen a homeless motherfucker yet. I don't know where y'all put him, but I hope y'all took care of him. That's all I got to say. Because I never seen a city full of homeless people. It ain't no homeless people out here. Right now, that's crazy. I done hit hella blocks.
There's so many flies in there. We found this abandoned house. We wanted to go inside, but now we're like scared to go inside. They're in every single window. You see all the flies? What is this? They're like blankets and clothes. Mineral spirits? Oh god. There's so many flies. Why is there so many flies? I don't know if I want to be here. Holy crap. Why is there so many beds? Oh my god. Do you think there's like someone dead upstairs? Look how bad the floor is, and look at those black clusters are all flies. Is that blood?
That's all that's in here, guns, ammo, hunting stuff.
That is disgusting. Listen to them buzz.
But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human still. But I was just referring to myself in the past. Not that I was not human.
How would you say that though?
We're not gonna yell at Howard.
It is a warm hoodie.
Yeah, no, it's a thick hoodie. It's a company hoodie. We print our mission on the inside.
What?
Oh, really?
God, the inside of the hoodie, everybody. Take a look. What is it? Making the
world more open and connected.
Oh my god, it's like a secret
Cool.
vault. Look at that. Making the world open and connected. Stream graph platform, and this weird symbol in the middle that is probably for the Illuminati. Oh, 2010.
No, it's 2010.
Oh no.
They laughing, but it's right in our face.
What color was kindergarten?
Kindergarten?
Yeah, when you was in kindergarten or pre-K, what color was it? Ooh, it was every color.
Yeah, I was gonna say rainbow.
Okay, now when you went to first and second grade, what color was it?
I don't know.
It was bland. Yeah, it was that color. Yeah, it was
like jail.
Exactly. Then when you went to high school, what color was it?
Like jail.
Yeah. Okay, then when you went to work, what color was the wall?
Yeah.
It's waning you off the frequency. When you a kid, you vibrant, you running around, and then the first thing they do is they say, wane them off the frequency. Make the walls tan, make everything tan, make it boring. Sit down, don't move. They just get you right out of spirituality. And then the next time that you do get introduced to a colorful environment, guess where you at? You in a club. If the club was this color, nobody would go. But since it's black and it's universal light, aka from red to purple, it feel like you in the universe. It feel like
wow.
So this is why people like the club. It's called colorology. Even hunger. Hunger is triggered by the color red, yellow, or orange. What color is Wendy's?
Yeah.
What color is Chick-fil-A? McDonald's. Every highly successful fast food franchise, I guarantee you, if they not all red, orange, and yellow, they have either one of them colors at a high dollar.
Yeah.
So this is people who literally socially engineer the world.
Damn, he was cooking, bro. I didn't even notice that. All the successful like fast food restaurants has either red, yellow, or he said orange in it. That's crazy. And the fact that he said they're weaning us off the frequency ever since after kindergarten. Okay, interesting theory.
Respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions.
Mothman's real, he's probably here, because this is one of the most rural parts of Appalachia that most people have never heard of. They're called the Crab Orchard Mountains in Tennessee, and they're almost completely devoid of people. You can see that there's practically no population centers. There's Petros to the south. It has a population of about 450 people, and to the north there's Montgomery, which is even smaller and doesn't even really have a listed population anywhere. And other than that, they are almost completely empty. But you probably noticed something else strange. Why does it look like that? When you look at it in the context of the Appalachians, it looks completely out of place. Almost everything around it looks like this, but it's like an almost perfect circle. And the reason why is a little bizarre. These mountains are sort of a cross-section of squeezed and folded crust. Each layer erodes at a different rate, leaving behind these ridges. But the Crab Orchard Mountains are the remains of a plateau, and so their layers were never folded. This is the Grand Canyon, but it's like the same concept. Over time, water eroded through these layers, creating a mountain range from a flat-ish surface, meaning that these mountains weren't pushed up, but carved down. This resulted in the interior of the mountains becoming rugged and difficult to traverse, and explains how its unique geology has allowed this area to remain one of the most rural parts of Appalachia to this day. Send this to a friend that you'd hunt Mothman with. And if you like cool stuff like this, sauce me a follow for more.
Who's hella scandalous. Look at.
What's he doing?
This who's door dashing and taking food from the people. Oh, what a sick fool. He's putting his shoes on there.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
Caught his ass in 4K.
I got you on camera, bro. You're sick, bro. You're fucking disgusting. Why you gonna put your shoes? You're disgusting, bro. You're nasty, bro. This guy's putting shoes on the people's food. You're disgusting, bro. You're fucking sick. You're fucking disgusting, bro. I got you on camera, bro. Huh? It's yours? Okay, bro, it's yours.
No, it
Sick
ain't.
fuck.
Well, that really pushed me on freaking DoorDash, man. That's why I was just like to get food myself, bro. It ain't worth somebody mess with your food, man. He really rubbed his food on the food, bro. You try to play it off, say that it's his. You know that ain't his.
An interesting UFO video for you. This one's actually coming out of Texas City, Texas, captured by a witness on or around January 11th, 2026. The witness states that this thing hovered in the air for actually quite some time and then eventually disappears. But what is it exactly? It looks like a tic-tac shaped type of UFO, but it's almost translucent. But you want to know something else? Something even weirder? Some witnesses on the ground couldn't see it while others could, but they all could see it once he played the video back. Isn't that weird? Take a look at this. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
It's like a camera mode or something. I'm trying to blend in with the sky. What's going on with Ray J, bro?
Somebody gotta explain this, y'all. I just seen this shit after Michael Jordan's car won the Daytona 500, and this is exactly what he's doing. Somebody gotta explain this, because I told y'all from the very beginning that they're all in it. Y'all don't think Jordan's part of it too? This man is worth over $3 billion. How did he acquire that? How do you think he acquired all of that?
See this. So this is Michael Jordan after his car just won the Daytona. This is just straight up creepy.
This is crazy. They're all in it. Look at it. Look at him. You don't think they're watching him?
Jordan, what are you doing?
Look at the boy's face. Y'all see that? Look at the kid's face. Y'all look at the boy's face. He couldn't even believe it. I zoomed in for y'all. Look. His jaws just dropped when he saw Jordan doing this thing to him. And look at this shit. This guy's just standing there just laughing. Look at this. Look at these. Bro. Demons everywhere, bro. Demons everywhere. This is the same system that we are upholding today, y'all. This gotta go, man. All this right here gotta go, bro. This is crazy. Don't y'all dare for a second think that none of these people are part of this. Because it seems that the more money you have, the more you are actually a part of this thing, man. But let me know down in the comments below, man. Y'all knew Michael Jordan was part of this? The shift is here, y'all. This shit's about to be...
Humans were never meant to see. Now you're probably wondering, what is this? Well, it's actually a cat's tongue under a microscope. Now this is gonna gross you out, but this is what gummy bears look like when they're getting made. Here's the before and after. I'll never see a gummy bear the same again. And you were today years old when you found out this one. You know those long Bic lighters? Well, inside of it is actually just a tiny lighter. And these two photos were taken in the exact same spot, but they're actually just 100 years apart. And this is what a human heart looks like with no blood in it.
Mental illness, where the sufferer believes that they're already dead, putrefying, or missing body parts such as a brain or internal organs.
Creepy info.
Skinwalker disguised as a horse.
The host looked like it
Urban
was on
legends from
something.
around the world. The Luna Park Ghost Train Fire, located in Milsons Point, Australia. Here's the story. On June 9th, 1979, a devastating fire broke out at Luna Park. Said to be an electrical fault and 7 lives were lost. Here's where it gets weird. This is the last photo of Damien Godson. Him, his father, and his brother all died in the fire. This strange man approached them hours before the fire. He placed his hand on the little boy's head and the photo was taken. To this day, nobody knows who that is and why he was there. Legend says he was dressed up as the god Moloch, who asked for children to be sacrificed by fire. What do you think, foreshadowing or just a weird coincidence? Which country is next?
I think that was some foreshadowing right there, man. That's why when people play those freaking Ouija board games, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I don't even want to invite that type of energy into my life because I truly really don't got time for that. But what do you guys think? Coincidence or something else, man? We expert level. We know what this is.
How long can animals survive without food? Wood frog. 7.5 months. Skunk. 7.5 months. Arctic fox.
7 months.
8 months. Seal. 8 months.
Really?
Walrus.
8.
9 months. Tortoise. 10 months. Scorpion. 1 year. Ohm. 10 years.
Damn, a whole decade?
Tardigrade. 30 years.
Here are some facts about the world that you probably didn't know. Walmart released their data last year on what people stock up on the most before a hurricane, and the answer was strawberry Pop-Tarts and beer. Not only has it been more than 50 years since the last person walked on the moon, the entire time period where we were walking on the moon was only 3.5 years. Antimatter is the most expensive substance on Earth, costing $62 trillion per gram. In the 1940s, there used to be a male-only penthouse at Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, including a rooftop patio where they would sunbathe, but they had to stop that from happening because they found out that nuns across the street were watching them. The highest revenue Panda Express location in the entire world is in a mall food court in Hawaii. Animals yawn based on how big their brain is, so the longer they yawn, the bigger the brain. British Airways offers a Flying with Confidence course that has a 98% success rate on helping people get over their fear of flying.
Morbid Facts, Part 532. Cult leader Amy Carlson, aka Mother God, convinced her followers that she was God, a 19 billion-year-old being, and that she could heal people from cancer with the power of love. Amy claimed she had reincarnated 534 times, with her past lives including Cleopatra, Jesus Christ, Harriet Tubman, and Marilyn Monroe. But Amy's health began to rapidly decline after she herself was reportedly diagnosed with cancer in 2020. She was eventually paralyzed from the neck down and begged her members to take her to the hospital, but they refused, and she ended up dying in April of 2021 at the age of 46. When police were alerted, they found her mummified corpse in a state of decay that suggested she'd been dead for several weeks. It was stuffed in a sleeping bag wrapped with Christmas lights, with the face covered in glitter and both eyes removed. Authorities stated it was a makeshift shrine and ended up charging 7 members of the group with desecration of a corpse.
Stay away from
Here's the
cults.
fact that I find really messes with my head. Dinosaurs lived on the other side of the galaxy. You see, just like our planets orbit the sun also orbits this, a supermassive black hole in the center of the Milky Way. And it takes us about 230 million years to go around it. So if the dinosaurs looked up at night, their sky would have looked completely different. Different constellations, stars in different places. Because the dinosaurs were literally in a different part of the galaxy.
Were they?
Did you guys hear about the woman who was forced to give up her baby after 5 months because of an IVF that went wrong? Christina Murray began her IVF process in 2023 with the clinic Coastal Fertility, and they transferred an embryo into her, and she gave birth that following December. Christina chose a sperm donor with dirty blonde hair and blue eyes, which are features very similar to hers, but when her baby boy was born, he was dark-skinned and clearly African American. Christina let the clinic know that something must have went wrong, and they told her and confirmed that, yeah, we made a mistake. After a DNA test was done, it was confirmed that the baby was not genetically related to her. Nevertheless, she fell in love with this baby and she formed this strong bond, but she was forced to give him back to his parents. The baby's biological parents sued Christina for custody, and she volunteered to give him up after her lawyers told her that she had no chance of winning in court. This is so heartbreaking. This woman carried her baby for 9 months, created a strong bond, loved this baby to death, only to be told that she had to give him up after 5 months.
That is so messed up, man. Because somebody on the doctor's office made a mistake, she had to pay for it.
Here's 3 times when you should not drink water. Number 1, right before bed. It can lead to poor quality sleep as you'll need the bathroom during the night, and it may potentially even cause facial swelling in the morning. Number 2, to wash down spicy food. Water actually spreads the capsaicin molecule, which is the thing that makes your mouth feel on fire, therefore making it worse. Drink milk instead. And finally, number 3, if your urine is colourless. This water overload can lead to low sodium levels, which may potentially have damaging health consequences, even a heart attack. Now comment the most amount of water you've drunk in a day.
Maybe like 2 or 3 bottles. Actually, like, probably
Banned
that's
cartoons from different countries. USA. SpongeBob SquarePants. India. Family Guy. Venezuela. The Simpsons. Saudi Arabia. Pokemon. China. Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
Australia. Peppa Pig.
Shout out to our mom. She pregnant.
Turkey. Powerpuff Girls. Poland. Teletubbies. Vietnam. Dragon Ball Z.
Amazing things you have never seen before. This man was walking in his yard and the ground started moving. This isn't fried chicken, it's actually a crystal. This is what the top of Mount Everest looks like. It was so cold that this person's food froze midair. This is what a cat's tongue looks like under a microscope. It looks like a bunch of smaller tongues. And I bet you've never seen a brick road machine. I always thought people did it.
Forbidden places.
Me too. Got something for everything nowadays. Shouldn't be surprised.
Animals that were caught in 4K. This cat taught himself how to drink water from the fountain and the owner caught him in the act. This sign is supposed to scare off trespassers, but this isn't much of a guard dog. And this family was sleeping when they caught a bear breaking into their home on camera and even opening the fridge for food.
Imagine y'all seen a bear in y'all kitchen. What are y'all doing? I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm jumping out the window or something, man. I ain't gonna fuck no bear, bro. That is wild. Trying to get a plate. That's interesting. What the hell? Ooh.
Can you pass the hearing test?
Here's something. Oh yeah, it's gone.
Today we're talking about the Jaws movie animatronics and how huge they are and how gross and terrifying they also are. So this was a little drawing schematic that was put out for the Jaws movie and like how they were filming it. And like look up here, that's what it looked like underwater. This disgusting look. There were two people in the water in scuba suits with cameras to film them. This would be $1 million a day job for me to hold down. I could not. This is really icky. Not that icky because it's not in the water yet, but these hydraulics that I know are gonna go in the water, yay. Why is bro booping his snoot like it's a cute little puppy? That is not a puppy, that is terror. Also, why would you do this? Why would you get in the mouth of an animatronic shark? This is fake for TikTok. This is fake. It's a fake shark. Do not do this at home. Why would you do this in the first place? Is that Steven Spielberg? I don't know what he looked like in the 70s. This is icky. This is an icky photo. I don't like this at all. I showed this one in the video yesterday of how big it is in comparison to a human. That is also from the video yesterday talking about the animatronic and Japan. You know what this reminds me of? This picture of the animatronic shark? It reminds me of the shark, robot shark from James and the Giant Peach. Does anyone remember this? I was terrified of this at 3 years old. So yeah, could you work on the Jaws ride movie if we were to go back in time? I bet not.
50 people have died just hours after showing symptoms for a mystery illness in the Congo. According to the World Health Organization, the outbreak began after 3 children ate a bat. Since then, 419 cases have been recorded, and all those who died did so 48 hours after developing symptoms. The CDC have since told thedailymail.com that international risk of the disease is low.
How many things Elon Musk can actually buy? Part 3. Firstly, as of right now, Elon Musk's current net worth is around $430 billion, and you wouldn't believe what he's able to buy with his money. So if Elon really wanted to, he could purchase around 1,600,000 Ferraris. That's an insane number. However, for his own car brand, he could realistically buy over 10 million Teslas that are brand new. Now, if Elon wanted to spend his money at the movie theater, he could buy 35 billion movie tickets, or he could fund almost 1,500 mega-budget movies like the Avengers and just create his own movies. Moving on, if Elon wanted to make Tesla cruises, he could purchase around 477 cruise ships, or he could buy around 14,000 personal private jets. Finally, if all that's too boring, if Elon really wanted to, he could buy around 2 million different people a brand new $200,000 home. The amount of money he has is absolutely mind-boggling.
That's way too much money, man. I know if I say this, but I think there's a point we could have like too much money. I truly believe that.
I am so concerned for this man on TikTok. It's really giving, like, how far would you go just for a video? He hangs out with these, like, random indigenous tribes, and apparently these are the guardians of the tribe that he was hanging out with. And he calls this tribe the scariest tribe in the country in the video. Like, is he not concerned for his safety? Not that the tribe itself is, like, necessarily dangerous, but, like, these people don't speak the same language as him. They don't know what he's doing, really. Like, he's making TikToks, but like they don't have like technology and stuff in their tribe. Like they don't really know what's going on. And it seems that his account is like dedicated to making videos like this. Like he has been with many different tribes. And it's like, do they even understand what like the phone is? I just have so many questions. And then in one of his videos, he was like, I'm hanging out with like these cannibals. And I'm just like, you are not a part of their tribe. Like, that could be really dangerous. Not that these people are necessarily dangerous. They seem really sweet, like letting him in. You just don't know because you can't understand them. You're speaking a different language. Come over here for more content. It really helps when you interact.
The video I'm about to show you is freaking out the internet. Take a look at this deer and watch what it does. People believe that this deer was shape-shifting, and that it might be a Wendigo. Wendigos are cannibalistic shapeshifters from Algonquin folklore. Could this be a Wendigo about to shapeshift into its true form, and it caught the camera and it's like, oh shit, can't do it now? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, follow me on YouTube, link in bio for more. Just do it.
Could be. The way it was twisting and turning.
A bizarre vegan cult has left a trail of death across America. But not long ago, they were just a group of young, talented tech people trying to save the world. So what went so wrong? And warning, this gets weird as hell. You see, too many villain arcs begin with a rejection. I mean, we're not even going to talk about art school, and this one is no different. Jack LaSoche out of a radical online community known as the Rationalist Movement, after Jack's ideas were too extreme, even for them. One of which was the idea that the two hemispheres of the human brain had different genders and were actively trying to kill each other. But being kicked out didn't mean that those ideas just went away. Jack took his online username, Ziz, and created a group that became known as the Zizians. And they didn't just want to talk about their ideas online, they wanted to create a new way of life. And in 2017, they took those ideas seriously. Somewhere off the coast of California, they acquired an old, rusting World War II era tugboat, and their plan for it was radical. Create a floating community of free-thinking individuals who would live outside the rules of society, focusing on philosophy, AI, research, and radical veganism. And after 5 years of living on this boat, they probably thought they had achieved this. But locals who saw the Zizians on board, they described them as dirty, isolated, feral humans. And after this rusted old boat started actually sinking, the Zizians were forced on land, and that's where things turned dark. Homeless and desperate, the Zizians relocated to California, and that's where they met 82-year-old Curtis Lynn. He rented them a space in his trailer park for around $2,000 a month, and at first, things seemed stable. Then, suddenly, they stopped paying. Curtis tried to evict them, the Zizians refused to leave, and the situation spiraled to the point where Curtis was attacked with a freaking sword. He was impaled through the chest, inflicted multiple stab wounds, including one that blinded his right eye. But despite his severe injuries, he managed to shoot 2 of his attackers, one fatally, and somehow he survived. But then, just last month, days before he was actually supposed to testify in court against the Zizians, Curtis was fatally stabbed in the neck outside his home by someone with the name Maximilian Schneider, successfully stopping him from ever testifying. And this was just the start. Another Zizian member was arrested after both her parents were found shot dead inside their home. And then also last month, 2 Zizian members got into a full-on shootout with Border Patrol, which resulted in the death of one of the officers and one of the members. And inside their car, authorities found night vision goggles, tactical gear, and an arsenal of weapons. Authorities realized this wasn't just some group of fringe intellectuals. This was a violent cult. And all of this led to the most recent arrest, the leader, Jack LaSoche. Ziz was arrested dressed in all black, carrying ammunition belts and a weapon. And unfortunately, it doesn't even stop there, because authorities believe that several of these members are still out there, some in hiding and others possibly even planning their next move.
So you like anything creepy, but have you heard of the urban legend of Carmen Winstead? 17-year-old Carmen Winstead was in high school. Her dad had lost his job, so they had to relocate to Indiana so he could get a new job. Carmen was finding it very difficult to leave her friends behind and make new ones, and because of her fear of criticism, it was very hard to do that. The first 2 semesters of her new school were very challenging, but things started to turn around when she became friends with a group of 5 girls. These girls appeared to be nice, but Carmen found out that they were gossiping and spreading false information about her. One of those rumors was that Carmen was having an affair with the school's janitor. Another one of those rumors was that she would wipe her snot on people when they weren't looking, and there were many more rumors that just ruined her reputation at that school. These girls started calling Carmen derogatory names, breaking into her locker and stealing her items. It had gotten to the point that Carmen was fed up with the bullying, so she was going to stay after school to talk to the teachers about it. That same day, there was a fire drill right after lunch, and as everyone was waiting for roll call from their teachers, Carmen was spotted near a sewer opening with those 5 girls. Those 5 girls had a plan to push Carmen down that sewer opening, and it would be so embarrassing for her and the whole school would laugh. Those girls swarmed her, pushed her, and shoved her into the sewer opening. One of the girls yelled, "She's in the sewer," giggling, and the teacher went to go check on Carmen, and when she saw Carmen, she was standing still and her head was turned to one side. The police were called, and once they arrived, they saw that Carmen had scraped her whole face off when she went down and her neck was broken. All of the students had to stay behind and be interrogated, and the 5 girls claimed that Carmen had just fell down on her own, and because of this, the case was closed and classified as an accident. A few months later, strange posts from an unidentified person started appearing on the Facebook of the students that went to Carmen's school, and it stated that her death was not an accident and she was pushed. That unidentified person left a window of opportunity for the people involved to come forward and to turn themselves in, and if they didn't, they would face the consequences.
No one came forward, and those 5 girls were found dead one by one. As a ghost, Carmen would send chain mail, and if those people that received it didn't send it to 15 people, then she would kill them. According to the legend, Carmen will get them whether it's a toilet, shower, sink, or a drain. When those people would wake up, they would be in a sewer, paralyzed and terrified, hearing laughter all over the place, and then Carmen would tear their face off. Whoever would obey Carmen's demands, she would look after and protect them for the rest of their lives.
Like, okay, so we have a glass table in someone's kitchen. Boom. There is a whole other world, a whole other dimension, all around us. All
Really?
the time. But we can't see it. Stay weird, y'all.
Let me tell you what I just learned today. A 9-year-old who was supposed to run a 5K race accidentally took a wrong turn into the adult 10K race and ended up winning it. That is so awesome. Elvis Presley's private jet was sold for $260,000 after being parked abandoned in the desert for the last 40 years. Can only imagine the history of what happened on that jet. There's a town in Poland where all 6,000 residents live on the same street. Why? The Match founder lost his girlfriend because she met someone else on Match.com. This is a nuclear explosion photo that was captured at 1/1,000,000th of a second. There was a woman that was so focused on a seagull that she missed her boyfriend proposing to her. This is the original check for $7.2 million that bought Alaska from Russia in 1868. Eva Longoria spent $6 million to save the movie John Wick after her agent convinced her it was the right decision, and she now believes it was the best money she ever spent because she still receives checks 10 years.
She's right. John Wick is a legend.
This is just incredibly unbelievable. Arizona has sandstorms, and they're so intense that when they blow through, they cover the entire city. Take a look at this video. Look at this. This was just the other day in Arizona.
Whoa.
This is Arizona, believe it or not. Look at that. That's sand. That's a sandstorm blowing in, covering the entire city. So they're saying that that storm is called a haboob. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with what a haboob is, it's a dust storm, a sandstorm. It includes up to 90-mile-per-hour winds that push the dust straight through the city of Arizona. To me, like many of you who have seen the videos coming out of Arizona, it doesn't just appear to be dust. Take a look at this.
What is it?
Oh, what the heck?
They driving in that?
That car's gonna...
What does that look like to you?
Can't see anything, bro, and they driving in that.
The crazy part about all of this, once that sandstorm / dust storm was done, they were hit with a crazy rainstorm. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as to what you think is going on in Arizona. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
This massive animatronic breathes, and there's a video of it breathing at the end if you just want to go skip and see that. It's 30 feet long or 10 meters long, and don't get me wrong, it's absolutely gorgeous. However, I would be terrified to go near this thing. Once again, my account is about megalophobia and creepy things that I find creepy. But yeah, this thing is absolutely massive. Look at it compared to those two people up there. Also, damn girl, for free? It's an installation that's in London this month, and I think it's going to be there next month too. Maybe I'll actually go look at it because I am going to London next month. But it's in front of Somerset House, which is like an art kind of gallery place. But the fact that it breathes creeps me out so bad. Like, I'm just waiting for it to like break that glass and like escape and just like pummel people. Like, I'm going to be ready to fight. It's by an artist called Tai Shani, and it's called The Spell or the Dream. And she's sleeping, and I'm just waiting for her to wake up and wreak havoc. Watch this video of her breathing and let me know how you're feeling, and would you go near this thing?
Let's check it out. Oh, that's creepy, bro. It's really breathing, what the hell?
Some of the most disturbing moments in kids' TV shows. Part 2.
Mr. Meaty was a Nickelodeon TV show that aired for 2 seasons in 2005 that involved 2 ugly teenage puppets, Josh and Parker, selling meat to other puppets at a fast food restaurant. Although the show itself was disturbing enough and filled with gross scenes, one episode called Moochmaster P traumatized every person who watched it. The episode consists of Parker mooching off everybody's lunch in the mall until he decides to eat the raw burgers they planned on serving. Because of this, Parker discovers that a large tapeworm has begun living in his stomach due to the raw burger. The duo quite literally fish the tapeworm out of his stomach and it squirms around until being caught. A man then offers to buy the worm for a zoo, only to let the worm go down his own throat. Needless to say, this was a truly haunting episode of this disturbing TV show.
I don't remember that show.
Babies in Mississippi dying before they even reach the age 1. When I tell y'all, so many children, it's so many children. They are saying it is off the charts, y'all. And I'm sitting here like, how is this normal? Nobody see that this is crazy? Nobody see the problem with this? Why is nobody talking about this? We are talking about infants in Mississippi passing away at an alarming rate. As a matter of fact, they are saying 9.7 infant deaths per 1,000 babies born.
It's way too high.
They say this is the highest level within a decade, y'all. And guess what race is leading at the top of this? Just guess. If you guess blacks, you were right. Look what it say, y'all. This shit is crazy, fool. What? Now you just read what I read. So what is your questions? Because I'm trying to figure out why is black among the leading in this? What is going on? I really need y'all thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure you share this. This is wild.
Something big is happening in the UK right now. In recent weeks, England flags have been popping up all over the country. And while that might seem uncontroversial, a country flying its own flag, in the UK, it's kind of rare. And it sparked a heated debate of whether it's racist to fly the England flag or not. It's been dubbed Operation Raise the Flag, and they've started appearing pretty much anywhere a flag can be hung. Lampposts, bridges, over highways, and it's even being painted on crossings and roundabouts. People who support this operation often argue that raising the flag is about being able to be proud of traditional British identity, which they argue has been suppressed in the country in recent years. Others, however, say that when they look at this flag, they see white supremacy, and it being hung up everywhere is like a reminder that they should go back to their country. It's to the point where some argue that if the country wants a flag that isn't seen as oppressive and instead represents a modern-day Britain, they should change the flag. And this situation only got more controversial when reports started coming out that some local governments started removing these flags, citing safety reasons. So there's one side that say the England flag represents pride in British identity and history, while the other side say that much of British history is marked by oppression and that the flag serves as a reminding symbol. So while it might seem like just an argument about a flag, in reality it's a fight over what will be the identity of modern day Britain. So the question is, what do you guys think?
See, this is the reason why I don't be getting on rides at amusement parks now. Them shits are not safe. Did you see the video of the girl that flew out of the fair ride? Mind you, when you see the video, you're not gonna notice. But somebody remixed the video, put the video in black and white, and slowed the video down, and you see the girl flying out of the fair ride. The video is titled, "You Think You Could Hurt Me?" I literally saw my friend passed away on the fair. Nah, man. And no, I'm not putting the video up here because I don't even think the video should be on social media. This shit is crazy. And just to show you shit was real, look at the aftermath of this shit. Look at this shit right here. This is after everything happened. This shit is crazy, man. This is exactly why I don't play that amusement park shit. No Great Adventures, no amusement parks, none of that shit. I'm not riding rides. I'm not doing anything. I've seen too many people get on them rides and not get off them rides to be playing with them rides. I'm from the era where people was getting on a Cyclone in Coney Island. If you know Coney Island, you know the cyclone. You know how old that shit was? And now they finally said, you know what? We're not gonna open the ride anymore. Cyclone Cove. I'm from the era where people was getting on the hellhole in Coney Island, spinning around and dying, breaking their legs and all that shit in the hellhole. I'm not with that. Nope, we not gonna do that.
Peggy the doll is causing...
Hey man, some people, they into roller coasters. I'm one of them, man. I think I legit only rode one. And after that, man, I couldn't do it, bro. That ain't it for me. If I ride, it has to be safe. Like, I have to know, guarantees nothing ever happened on that ride.
nosebleeds, heart attacks, and even deaths. She's currently residing in Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum in Las Vegas. Peggy has a reputation for causing severe reactions for people she comes in contact with. One of these encounters was even caught on camera. Visitors of the museum have reported a range of disturbing experiences after interacting with Peggy. Some have had nosebleeds, some have fainted, chest pain, and even heart attacks. Others have reported feeling extreme rage, nausea, or dizziness. And these incidents have been so frequent that guests actually have to sign a waiver before they're allowed to enter in the room that she's in. When psychic mediums attempt to communicate with her, they actually reveal a lot of disturbing information. They claim that everything happens because the spirit that's inhabiting Peggy is angry and vengeful. This video was put onto TMZ earlier this week, and it's extremely disturbing.
Why do people visit things like that? Bad spirits. Is she like faint? The woman didn't even try to catch her. She okay?
Let me know what you thought about all of that and follow for more.
You guys
I ain't going there.
The Doomsday map? They came out with a map that looks like this.
Oh, wow.
This is America. They do like the whole world, but this shot is of America. But this lady, her name is Peggy Bolton. She did some really fun research regarding the Doomsday map. She compared what this map looked like. She compared that to the land that Bill Gates has been buying. All the farmland. He is the majority farmland owner in the United States right now. She took the map of the farmland that he owns and overlaid it onto this Doomsday map. Every single dry land piece was occupied by his farmland, including California. So California is basically completely underwater, but there's these little pockets of islands. You see those? That little one right there, that's one of his farmlands. Like that compared to like Zuckerberg, because on this Doomsday map, Hawaii is completely fine. And she talked about how Jeff Bezos is also buying up farmland around the US. That all correlates with like these high points in America. It's super creepy.
So we need to get a boat.
According to this map, we're good. We're almost at beachfront property, baby.
All the kids missing in Virginia.
What happened?
There's like 400 plus kids missing. Ice cream trucks around Virginia that are going around at 1 a.m. to wait unusual times, bro.
And they're like taking kids.
A shorty posted a TikTok because an ice cream truck was chilling in her backyard. But she's getting voicemails.
This is probably one of the creepiest voicemails I have ever gotten.
You don't know me, and I don't think you'll find out who I am. Since you're a TikTok investigator, that's my little game.
No, she's giving clues though. So it's like, since you want to debunk this whole ice cream, we'll do it to you. No, she's trying to be like a movie. Yes.
If you like big slugs in your backyard, go out and find out what's in it. And I bet nobody will get involved because it's silly.
Like, what was that at the end?
Fam!
What was in it though?
She didn't go, obviously. She called the cops. Ice cream trucks. What are ice cream trucks lord too? Get kids out.
Hold on. When did this happen?
A week ago.
Weapons.
And no,
oh my god.
Yo, you know when you're talking about movies?
Like, Manifest Life?
Manifest Life?
Hey girl, come here. You want some
That's creepy, bro.
Free ice.
We got a bunch. We got everything you could imagine. What'd you like?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, come on in. Come grab it.
I have to come in.
Come on, grab it.
You're supposed to give it to me.
No, well, it's free. No, you gotta come grab it.
Do y'all realize the CIA, Hollywood, the FBI, they're all in on it together, right? Some of the best brainwashing technology is literally the TV, the cell phone. because they tell you the truth in movies and TV shows. Because of universal law, they have to tell you what they're doing or what they're gonna do so they don't get no bad karma from it. But they don't tell it to you straight up because then you're actually gonna pay attention to it. So they tell you subtly using entertainment. And that's one of the best ways to subliminally program somebody is using entertainment. Because while you're busy being entertained, while you're busy laughing, you're not paying attention to the knowledge that was encoded into what you're being entertained by. There is esoteric knowledge in almost all the movies and TV shows that we have. There is esoteric knowledge in many TV shows and movies that you watch. There are subliminal messages, hidden occultism, hidden symbolism in almost every show and movie you watch. Gas stations, your grocery stores, everything around us is hidden symbolism. Because that's the thing, when you didn't design something, you don't know what its actual intended purpose was. All you can do is take the word of the person who designed it and say, yeah, this is what it's for. And you just gotta believe them. But what you don't understand is if that person is smarter than you, if they know more knowledge than you don't know what their intent is.
Before I woke up and...
Speaking facts, man, you know how many years I came out later watching these kids together with you guys, what they be putting in the TV shows and movies. You don't understand it as a kid, but as you get older, you get the message behind it. So always pay attention, man.
This Matrix, I kept hearing people say that we will have the mark of the beast and there will be a chip or a mark on our hand. Some people believe it will be on our forehead, but I believe it's already in our hand. It's in our hand. So many people sitting around waiting for the chip to look like this. What if I told you we already have the mark of the beast and it's already in my hand as I make this video? Yes, the chip or the mark of the beast is our cell phone. You ever ask yourself, why do we have to have a two-way security with everything? They don't want to send you an email. They want to call you or send you a text. What, an email is not good enough? Nah, that's because they want everyone to have a cell phone. All you have to do is look at the first 4 letters in cell phone. You get cell. When you get locked up, they put you in a prison cell. Kind of makes sense, right? You have so many people that's obsessed with taking selfies, but they don't even realize that their selfies is just a mugshot. People keep saying 666. 666 is the mark of the beast. 666 is not the mark of the beast. These devices we hold in our hand is the mark of the beast. They give us these fancy cameras so we can think that we are doing something. No, they are just watching us. They give us these fancy ass speakers. No, they are just listening to us. Okay. You ever find yourself sitting back just minding your business, having random thoughts? Then you pick up your cell phone and your thoughts is now inside of the cell phone. Before you Google something, it's already there waiting for you. They said that there will be a time where you won't be able to buy or sell without the chip. Last time I checked, on our cell phones, we buy and we sell almost everything. Shit is getting to the point where people don't even want to go outside. They just can shop and buy off their cell phones. You ever see how people act when the new cell phone come out? You ever see how people act if they drop and break their cell phone? Shit. You ever see how children react if their parents take away their cell phone? I even heard stories of children killing their parents just because they took away their cell phone. But the real question we need to be asking ourselves is, why any of this? Why the mark of the beast? Why they want to track us? Why they want to listen to everything we speak about? That's because the Matrix is really a prison. They need to watch and monitor certain spirits. Because if you spiritually wake up, they know who you are. If you don't want to wake up, they know who you are. The only thing we had left that was sacred was our thoughts. Now our thoughts is no longer sacred. No more secret. Our thoughts is leaking all over the internet. If they can track everything you do, they will know your next step before you know your next step. Just remember that the Matrix want to replace the universe. The universe is everywhere, all the time. It knows everything we do. So the Matrix want to copy and paste the universe and watch everything we do. This is real easy right here. Why do you think they call it the iPhone? Why do you think Siri is Iris backwards? Check out my ebook.
Pink slime is now officially ground beef. What's pink slime? Let me show you. This crap up here that they add to hamburger. Watch this and see for...
Gerald Zernstein grinds his own hamburger these days. Why? Because this former USDA scientist, now whistleblower, knows that 70% of the ground beef we buy at the supermarket contains something he calls pink slime. Beef trimmings that were once used only in dog food and cooking oil, now sprayed with ammonia to make them safe to eat. and then added to most ground beef as a cheaper filler. It was Zernstein who in a USDA memo first coined the term pink slime and is now coming forward to say he won't buy it.
It's economic fraud. It's not fresh ground beef. It's a substitute. It's a cheap substitute being added in.
Zernstein and his fellow USDA scientist Carl Custer both warned against using what the industry calls lean, finely textured beef and is widely known now as pink slime. But their government bosses overruled them.
Why didn't you consider it beef? Because it was a salvage product. Leftovers, fat that had been heated at low temperature and the excess fat spun out.
Here's how it's done. Those waste trimmings are gathered, simmered at low heat to make it easier to separate fat from muscle, put in a centrifuge and spun to finish the separation. Next, the mixture is sent through pipes where it's sprayed with ammonia gas to kill bacteria, and finally compressed into bricks and flash frozen for shipment to meat packers and grocery stores where it's added to most ground beef. And it doesn't have to appear on the label, because over objections of its own scientists, USDA officials with links to the beef industry labeled pink slime meat.
Ugh, I guess you really never know what you're eating. Shabarabooskies and bon appetit, baby.
Shrinkflation continues. American ordered a McDonald's Filet-O-Fish sandwich and is shocked that they are now the size of a slider. I worked at McDonald's. Those are definitely smaller. Don't buy McDonald's though, but also shrinkflation is a shocking situation where you're buying something that's smaller, but it's the same price or possibly even more. What's going on with our economy? What's coming around the corner with our economy? What's with the emergence of AI? Is this a part of a plan? We're going to be discussing more about this on my Rumble channel. If you want to tune in, comment the word Rumble below and check your DM.
Shrinkflation, bro. Bloodlock. Off-brand noodles.
Apple in the world. So dangerous that its name in Spanish is Manzanilla de la Muerte, which translates to Little Apple of Death. This is the manchineel tree, and it's widely considered to be the most toxic tree on the planet. And it's all because of a milky white sap coated in toxins that can cause the skin to blister on impact. And this sap is found in every part of the tree. The leaves, the fruit, the bark, every aspect of this tree has the ability to decrease your quality of life. It's so toxic that if you don't even touch it but stand under the tree while it's raining, all it takes are a couple of raindrops with white sap to burn your skin. Speaking of burning, if you torch a tree and try to return shipment to Satan, the smoke can irritate the eyes to the point of temporary blindness. And you can probably imagine what would happen if you inhale it. The fruit might just be the worst part. In 1999, radiologist Nicola Strickland unknowingly ate the apple, and while she didn't retire from breathing, she came really close. The burning sensation and painful tightening of the throat nearly made her suffocate off rip. The pain lasted over 8 hours, and she eventually had to get the lymph nodes in her neck drained. And if you happen to find one in your Florida backyard, yeah, you can find them in Florida. Y'all are hell with no income tax. You can't cut them down, because they're in danger. You'd be like suplexing a panda. And since they help prevent beach erosion and protect mangroves, if you got rid of all of them, Florida just might go underwater. The more you know.
Don't eat apples in Florida, man. Confirmed. What the hell? Damn. That tree just sounds like instant KO.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 24. There's been multiple cases of people actually being eaten alive by an escalator. If you like to eat cereal, there's a 21 to 38% chance that you're also eating an Icarus mite. Supposedly, if you have Sanpaku eyes, meaning that there's white below your iris, it actually means that you're supposed to die young. Every time you feel very aggressive, your brain is set to kill for a few seconds. So in that 1 second, you could kill a human being. When getting laser eye surgery, you can actually smell the parts of your eyes being shaved down by the lasers. If you're a male, after you die, your loved ones can have a doctor electrocute your prostate, forcing you to ejaculate for your sperm. If burned by electricity, it will leave burn marks shaped like lightning on your skin. Many pets actually die because their owner dies unexpectedly and nobody comes in to check in on them in time.
That's sad, man. Ghost Town? Found some ancient civilizations underwater.
Facts that will definitely make your skin crawl, part 2.
Let's talk about
There's more
it.
of a chance of you finding a dead body underneath your bed than actually finding it in the garbage. If you ever plug your nose during a sneeze, you can actually rupture a blood vessel in your neck or your brain and it'll cause you to bleed to death. The electric chair was actually invented by a dentist. If a black cat looks at you and runs, it usually means something is about to happen to you, usually being pretty bad.
Yeah, but I've seen some black cats in my day, man. I try to look the other way every single time I see one, bro. It's like my neighbor's infested with cats, so I see him, man. Just look away. I pretend I don't even see it, man.
These are 8 horrifying facts that will probably keep you up at night. Being buried alive accidentally occurred so often that people invented safety coffins. In the Middle Ages, people used to eat mummies for medical purposes. It's the main reason we don't have a lot of mummies left today. In the United States, there are more vacant homes than homeless people. Did you know that the actress Glenn Close was raised in a cult? The Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland used to have real skeletons as props. In 1976, a TV crew realized one of the hanging bodies in the Laugh in the Dark ride was indeed a real body by accidentally breaking it. Women in the 18th century used lead as makeup. This is the first chainsaw. It was invented by 2 Scottish doctors. And, it was invented for childbirth. Yeah, there's a lot more. Like for part 4.
Whose great idea was it to invent a chainsaw for childbirth, man? I wonder what
Disturbing
mom
facts
process you
that
have to
will
do
ruin your
to
life.
do that.
Coconuts kill more people than sharks every year. Same with cows. Vending machines are actually twice as likely to kill you than a shark is.
How?
France was still executing people via guillotine when the first Star Wars film came out. There are more fake flamingos in the world than real ones. There are more tigers in Texas than the rest of the world. There's enough iron in your body to make a 3-inch nail. Beethoven and George Washington were alive at the same time. In fact, George Washington was in his 40s when Beethoven was born. There are more stars in space than there are grains of sand on every beach on Earth. It rains diamonds on Saturn and Jupiter. A buttload is an actual unit of measurement, equivalent to 126 gallons. Hit the plus sign if you want to learn more facts.
I think the thing that's most shocking to me is that there's a lot of freaking tigers in Texas, bro. I just instantly thought of that. I mean, what the hell is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? What the hell's going on in Texas, man? They got a freaking tiger epidemic. You gotta be careful.
Bone-chilling facts you wish you never knew, part 4. Cannibals find the palm of the hand the tastiest. There is a lake that never gives up the dead. The bottom of the Lake Superior is cold enough that the dead bodies just remain, so they don't become skeletons and they are pretty creepy. In 1975, the CIA had a heart attack gun. It's a weapon that shoots a small poisonous dart which causes a heart attack. It can penetrate clothes and leave nothing but a red dot. Just imagine what they could be hiding now.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 17. There's an 8-year-old boy named Amarjit Sada who became the world's youngest serial killer after murdering his 6-year-old cousin, his baby sister, and a neighbor's newborn daughter. The CIA has a legitimate heart attack gun, and it was exposed to the public in the late 1970s. Project Sunshine was research conducted by the US government in which after the atomic bombings on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, a network of agents was recruited to locate recently deceased children and steal their body parts for testing on radiation. Both the US and Russia used dolphins and whales to spy on various countries. Guys, I just released my first YouTube video. I'm sure you'll love it. Link in bio.
Now don't be fooled by this photo, because this story is called The Demon Dog. For the short term they knew him, they called him Shanks. So if you haven't guessed it yet, Shanks is an American pitbull. But ever since Mark found Shanks, there was just something off. See, Shanks was fit, tough, and a very strong looking dog. But when you looked into his eyes, there was something evil that wanted to get out. But Shanks was a stray. He was found covered in blood months ago. The vet said that it was blood from a carcass or something that he had eaten to try and survive. But after we saw Shanks attack Robin Woolman while she was hanging out her washing, we knew it wasn't for survival. You see, Robin was 8 months pregnant when Shanks hunted her down and attacked her. Police said that they couldn't even recognize her once he'd finished ripping her apart. And unfortunately, neither her or her unborn baby survived. Since he ran away that day, 3 of his past owners have stepped forward, all with gruesome stories about Shanks, and all have refused to describe to police what he looks like, because he still stalks.
Shanks. Yeah, that does sound like the demon dog, man. Sometimes, you know, it's the environment. Those dogs that come up and they become violent, so what did he experience that made him turn into that, man? Whew.
One of the world's scariest animals just got a whole lot scarier, and Planet of the Apes is slowly becoming non-fiction. Because apparently chimpanzees are out here murking gorillas. Scientists in 2021 witnessed a troop of chimpanzees basically jumping a family of gorillas. And when I say gang, we're talking about almost 30 chimps pressing a family of 5. Keep in mind a silverback can weigh up to 400 pounds, could probably bench press your car. And according to witnesses, the silverback was eating chimps left and right like they were paper mache. But eventually the chimps overwhelmed the bigger silverback and even kidnapped a baby gorilla. I'm not going to tell you exactly what they did, but that family of 5 became a party of 4. And it wasn't even the last time, because later that year, scientists watched the same group of chimpanzees do the same exact thing. Square up with a family of gorillas, kidnapped a baby, and erase its name from the gorilla census. And it's not like we didn't know chimps were about that. They often hunt bush babies and vervet monkeys, and we've even seen them use weapons like spears to do it. But it's one thing to hunt something that weighs like 5 Skittles. Going gorillas is another tier of Black Air Force activity.
Yes, it
Which
is.
is why I'd rather be locked in a room with a jaguar than a chimp. Because at least a jaguar gonna make it quick.
Really? Jaguar or chimp, man? What would y'all choose?
Disney World facts and incidents that are a lot darker than you could imagine. And if you guys are loving Creep Time and you want even more content, make sure to check out my Instagram right in the bio. Disney World is known for quite a few high-profile deaths, most of which they have done a great job of covering up. But none quite as quickly as when an off-duty cast member accidentally fell to his death off Disney's contemporary resort onto the monorail. Within just 3 hours, Disney had completely cleaned it up and just resumed operations. In 1981, the case went to court when parents claimed that an actor at the park who played Winnie the Pooh had slapped their daughter. But this cast member insisted that this was just a case of turning around and accidentally knocking a little girl over, and actually proved this to a jury in court by repeating the incident while dressed in costume. In the early 70s, at an attraction known as the Carousel of Progress, in which the stage rotates a full 360, the attendant, who was 18, was crushed between the stage and the wall. Even more chilling, there is an audio recording that exists of this exact incident.
I think the thing that got to me is when they said, like, Disney, they just freaking, the monorail fell, they just freaking cleaned that up. He said 3 hours and they just resumed the day, acting like everything was normal, man. One of the biggest corporations in the world, and you know, they can't let that money flow stop. But not even a day, or even a couple of hours, they just, like it was just a regular day, man. That's scary.
Things that bother you, that ever bother me.
You have me at mine, living in the sunlight, laughing in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
Haven't got a lot, I don't need a lot. Coffee's only a dime.
Living in the sunlight, laughing in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
How the hell do people not see those in those photos, man, when they taking the pictures?
Survive until sunrise at the real Conjuring House. Say hello to Annabelle. Go in the basement, alone. Visit the bent neck lady. Say hello to Father John. Watch out for Valid. What was that? A haunted well. Seance with me. Snakes.
What the hell? I couldn't survive with that for a day. Nope. I don't really need to be around that energy. I got it. Whoever do that are some brave shows who can survive in that house for a whole day. It's Adam, man.
Frank Selak, known as the luckiest unlucky man that has lived, seemed to have a superpower of surviving everything life and death threw at him. In January 1962, Frank boarded a train that was suddenly derailed. The train plunged into an icy river. While 17 other passengers drowned, Frank survived the fall and swam ashore with a broken arm and hypothermia. A year later, while on his first and only plane ride flying from Zagreb to Rijeka, the back door blasted open, sucking everyone into the sky, killing 19 people. Amazingly, Frank landed on a haystack with only minor scratches. 4 years later, Frank boarded a transport bus. The bus skidded and plunged into a river, sinking all the way down. Yet again, Frank survived the fall and swam to the surface, then to the shore with a few cuts and bruises. In 1970, Frank was driving his car when an engine failure ignited the fuel tank, bursting the car into flames. Frank jumped out of the vehicle just before it exploded. A few years later, the same thing happened with his new car. While his hair was completely singed, Frank otherwise exited the vehicle safely. In 1995, he was hit by a city bus and then again by a truck. He survived that freak accident too. In 1996, he was involved in a head-on collision on a mountain curve. Frank was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected out of the car, clinging to a tree branch as he watched his vehicle fall 300 feet. 2 days after his 73rd birthday, Frank won the lottery for $1.1 million. At the time of his win, he also married for the 5th time.
These are facts that...
I'm good, but he got a happy ending, bro, because it just seemed like life was just throwing this massive curveballs at him, man. And he was like doing the Neo Matrix joint, just dodging them, bro, and he finally got a win, man. Could you imagine, like, this freaking event after event after event? I wouldn't even want to freaking leave the damn house. They safe for him. At least he got the 1 meal, man, so I'm happy for him. He needed that.
Skin Crawl, Part 1. Up first, did you know that women can actually give birth after death? It's extremely rare, but it's called coffin birth. Up next, everybody has definitely heard of the 5-second rule and probably applied it in your life at least once. But did you know in those 5 seconds, minor insects can still crawl on your food after you drop it on the floor, pick it up, and then eat it? Up next, if a black cat looks at you and then suddenly runs away, it means that something unusual is about to happen to you. So if this happened to you recently, then I recommend just staying in your room and not leaving. Finally, did you know that a cockroach can live 9 days without its head before it starves to death? This is absolutely crazy, and as weird as this sounds, I have to see it to believe it.
Me too. 9 days without his head?
Most dangerous tourist spots, Part 1.
Alright.
Devil's Pool. This pool takes you inches from the 350-foot waterfall. It is located at Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. Getting to the pool is hard. You have to fight the strong current of the river. And there are also hippos and crocodiles that lurk in the river. Tourists are only allowed to go to Devil's Pool between August and January because for the rest of the year, the strong currents make it impossible to survive.
I've seen the people post for pictures. I would never do that.
Facts, Part 1. After losing her newborn baby, a 24-year-old mom named Ashley Hammock decided to add a sandbox to her grave so that her older son could still play with him. It wasn't until 1914 that it became illegal to mail children. In 2008, a Brazil priest would decide to strap 1,000 balloons to his lawn chair and take off. It wasn't until months later that the lower part of his body would be found floating in the ocean.
The lower part? What happened?
Scariest interviews with serial killers. Serial killer John Hughes. John Hughes was convicted of 15 murders and sentenced to life in prison in 2010. When he was interviewed and asked if he would kill again, he said this.
Because you'd kill again.
More than positive. I got different thoughts. Then he was asked if he felt bad for the murders he had committed, and this is what he said.
You don't feel bad about killing anyone?
Not personally, that I've personally done myself, no.
Why?
Wrong place, wrong time. Follow for more.
People with no remorse, man. One of the most dangerous people alive. You just witnessed that firsthand. He had no remorse. Just said wrong place, wrong. Nah. That's an edit, man.
They had to yell at the actors to stop eating the crap in between takes of the Human Centipede because the prop masters made it taste so good. It was a mixture of coconut oil and chocolate. A very large number of actresses actually walked out of the audition the second they saw these drawings. The only way the director was able to get investors in on the movie was to be a little deceitful about what was actually happening. He told investors it was about 3 people being surgically connected together, but he didn't say how they were being connected. The movie makes it seem like this house is in the middle of nowhere, but in reality, this house was just in a regular neighborhood. And during the feeding scene of the Human Centipede, many neighbors were actually peeking over the fences and were completely disgusted by what they saw. The actors were given hardened silicone underwear with rubber bits to bite on, that way it actually looked like they were connected to each other's butts. Dieter Laser, rest in peace, the man who played the crazy scientist in the Human Centipede, insisted on on being naked for the pool scene. The actresses thought this was really sweet and an act of solidarity because they had to be naked themselves for 90% of the movie. But Dieter Laser said he wanted to be nude because he is a method actor, and this doctor would see the human centipede as nothing more than a pet, and you wouldn't blush at being naked in front of your pet. All of the actors who were involved in the human centipede got massages at the end of every film day for having to be on their knees all day long.
Terrifying facts you never knew.
I
Your bed
never
has
watched that
Netflix
movie.
in it right now, and some of you have up to 10 million on your mattress, but you have no clue. You see, they love dead skin and warm bedding, making your bed the perfect home to start a huge family. Cavities are contagious and can be spread by kissing or sharing food. Speaking of food, I have a mud pie. Oh, yeah, baby. And don't get me started about these Reuben balls. Ooh. Now this tastes like your mama's booty. This is how fast the Titan submarine got crushed. It takes our brains 100 milliseconds to process pain. It takes our eyes 13 milliseconds to process visually. When the Titan submarine imploded, the pressure was so great, it got crushed in 1 millisecond, meaning they didn't feel or see a thing. It was just lights out. Again, your mama's booty. Sometimes an Amber Alert caused the kidnapper to panic and kill the child immediately. It's a tube with sharp barbs inside. Women insert this like a tampon, and let's just say anyone who ever tries an unconsensual act will be in a world of pain and have to go to the ER. A man from Queens spent 5 years in jail, not knowing that his bail was only $2.
What?
If you ever donated blood, that blood can be in somebody else's boner right now. Something to think about. The reason you shouldn't eat raw cookie dough isn't because of the raw egg. It's because you shouldn't eat the raw flour, which contains fecal matter from all the birds flying all over the field and pooping on the wheat. In 2006, Robert Turnery, a 5-year-old, called 911 after his mother collapsed. The operator hung up on him after asking to speak to an adult because she thought it was a prank. 3 hours later, he called again. The operator said, "Stop prank calling," and hung up. They then sent the police to his house to yell at him. When they got there, they found that his mother had died from a heart attack. In 2016, 11-year-old Elizabeth Gilreed went on an amusement park ride to have fun. Her hair then became caught, causing her to be scalped. The Iron Maiden was a horrible torture device, but it didn't kill you. People would be placed in there and the spikes would go through every part of their body, even their eyes. But the spikes weren't deep enough to kill you, so you would just stand in there, suffering. Should I do a part 5?
Today I'll be telling you about the youngest murderers. Starting off with Nevada Tan. Nevada Tan is the nickname of an 11-year-old girl who murdered her classmate. Her real identity is kept a secret. She had some sort of disagreement with a girl in her class, so during lunch break she brought the girl into an empty room and cut her throat with a knife. Afterwards, she went back to her classroom covered in bloodstains. Her classmates flew into a panic and her teacher called the police. She was arrested, and when the police asked her why she had done such a horrible thing, Nevada Tan said that the dead girl had posted messages on her website saying she was overweight and calling her a goody two-shoes. According to reports, Nevada Tan's website was based on the Japanese urban legend, the Red Room. Nevada Tan was sent to prison. She was probably released in 2013. Next, we have Jasmine Richardson. Jasmine was a normal 12-year-old girl from Albert, Canada. She got involved with goth scene, started dressing in black and wearing garnish makeup. On the internet, Jasmine used the nickname Runaway Devil, and her profile said, "Welcome to my tragic end." She became an out-of-control tween, sneaking out, going to rock concerts without her parents' knowledge. She also had a boyfriend who was 23 years old. He often told people he was a 300-year-old werewolf. When her parents found out what she had been doing, they grounded her and forbid her from singing. She was really angry, so she convinced her boyfriend to come over and kill her parents. One night, while her parents were asleep, she let her boyfriend in the house. He stabbed her parents to death while she murdered her 8-year-old brother. Afterwards, they tried to flee, but the police found them. Jasmine was found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Her boyfriend was given 3 life sentences. Since then, Jasmine has been released and has expressed remorse for her crimes. Lastly, we have Robert Thompson and John Venables. Robert and John were both 10 years old. One morning, they decided to ditch school and go to a shopping center. They got bored and decided to kidnap a little boy named James Bulger. They brought him into a deserted area where they threw bricks at him. Part 2 is already up.
They that young, man, making freaking bad decisions like that.
No harm in this time. There's improvement.
See, move your mouth around a little bit, like
I feel like
smile, maybe.
You did. That's an edit for sure.
You guys
guys don't need a Google Live. Maybe just here. Yeah. I think that's all we do last time. Yeah. Barely even like the chin and upper lip. Yeah. Just do it out here.
Is that for a movie or something? That blanket, man.
Recorded. Now, this is the 5th and final part of the series on acid attack victims. This is Julie Kumari. She was the victim of a horrific acid attack that was actually intended for her mother at just 4 years old. Julie's father was so angry that her mother had left him and remarried that he actually quietly broke into their house in the middle of the night and poured acid over her and her new husband. But what he didn't realize was that his daughter was in the bed with them. Julie's face and half of her body were completely melted by the acid, and her mother had to sell her entire farm to pay for the hospital fees. Now, the reason that Julie's face is fused to her shoulder like that is because it would require a surgery to detach it. Her mother simply didn't have the money for that surgery.
That's so sad, man. The things people do out of jealousy.
You won't believe what this man was caught doing with a corpse. 46-year-old Randall Bird was caught doing inappropriate things to a corpse while he was working his shift as a security guard at the Banner University Medical Center in Phoenix. Randall's job was to bring deceased bodies to the hospital's morgue and slip them into the freezer. But during his shift, coworkers walked in on him and caught Randall inside the freezer with his zipper down, his uniform looking messy, and a body bag open. He was seen almost on top of the 79-year-old deceased woman, and when the workers walked in, he quickly tried to cover the body. The workers said that Randall looked so sweaty and nervous when they caught him, and his excuse was that he had a medical emergency and he almost passed out. His co-workers did not believe a single word and reported the incident. When Randall was interviewed by police a few days later, he basically just said the same story and said that he couldn't remember much of what happened. But not long after, investigators found his DNA on the woman's body, which proves that Randall was in fact doing what we all assumed. He was arrested and now faces multiple charges.
Animals that killed their owners. Teddy the Black Bear. On the 5th of October 2009, Teddy the Black Bear ended the life of owner Kelly Ann Walls after 9 years of being raised by her. Kelly lost her life to the 350-pound bear when she was cleaning its cage, and it came out of nowhere and attacked her.
Goes to show you, man, wild animals cannot be kept as pets. It's a reason why it never ends well. She had a pet bear.
Animal facts that'll blow your mind right out of your head. Contrary to popular belief, tigers aren't always solo hunters. They hunt in packs a lot, and a pack of tigers is called an ambush, as you can see why. Flamingos are naturally gray. That's their natural color, but they turn pink because of their diet of seafood. The black-footed cat is the most dominant hunter on the planet, despite standing 6 inches tall. There's a crocodile named Gustav that's believed to have killed over 300 people, and he's still out there. Oh, and I guess crocodiles got a new update, and apparently they can climb trees now? The chicken is closer related to the T-Rex than it is any other bird on the planet. There is not one report of an orca ever attacking a human in the wild. Dolphins like to get intoxicated, and they do it by passing around a pufferfish and using its venom. The biggest threat to a porcupine's life is themselves. They like to climb trees, and sometimes they fall and pierce all their quills right through themselves. Under all that fur, polar bears have black skin. It looks like a chupacabra. And the best fact of all, in 2022, the panda status changed from endangered to vulnerable. Go panda.
Worst ways people have died. Part 6.
Signs right there. Over a hat, man. Some things are not worth it.
Imagine accidentally knocking on the wrong door and then being murdered because of it. Well, that's what happened to 56-year-old Maria Cotto after visiting a client at an apartment building in Westchester. Maria was a caseworker for the county's Department of Social Services and was conducting home visits when she accidentally knocked on 31-year-old Hasim Jenkins' front door. When he answered the door, instead of directing Maria to the correct apartment, he punched her in the face. Maria tried running from him, but he chased her into a neighbor's apartment and he continued to kick her in the head with a pair of heavy boots. Somehow, while this was all going on, she managed to call 911, but when police arrived, Hasim claimed that Maria tried to stab him and that's why he beat her. But that never happened. She only knocked on his door because she thought that was her client's home. This poor lady suffered severe brain bleeding, brain swelling, and multiple facial fractures. She was placed on a ventilator, but unfortunately, she passed away a month later. When Hasim was arrested, Maria's phone was found in his pocket, and now he's facing a long list of charges, including second-degree murder. And something her family said, which is so sad, is that this all happened the year before Maria planned to retire.
How rare is your body? Only 1% of people can wiggle their ears voluntarily, and only 10% of people have a small hole above their ear. Do you have one? Only 20% of people can actually flare their nostrils. I thought everyone could do it. Next, only 2% of people have Norton's toe, where the second toe is longer than the big toe. Those are some weird toes. And finally, around 20% of people have a rare condition where they can taste colors and see sound. I guess tasting the rainbow could be a real thing. This is what animals look like wet. First, we have a cute sloth, and honestly, it has to be the most terrifying thing I've seen in a while. Next, we have an owl. Okay, why does it look so old? This is what a koala looks like normally, but this will give you nightmares. Next, we have a cute cat. Why did his eyes double in size? Finally, we have a monkey, and he looks like he needs help. Tell me what animal I should do next.
Crazy things happening in the world right now.
Katy Perry tripped to space. Katy Perry recently went to space as part of an all-female crew on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket and made a history as the first pop star selling luxury goods, such as handbags, apparel, and cosmetics, to U.S. consumers at significantly lower prices than retail. This is partly a response to the U.S. tariffs imposed on Chinese goods.
A new study has just revealed which countries have the biggest and smallest average penis size. So let's start with the smallest, shall we? Copying it straight on the chin, we have the Philippines in 87th place with 4.27 inches. In 88th place is Taiwan with a solid 4.24 inches. And in dead last, we have Cambodia locking in a pocket rocket 3.95 inches. Moving over to the world's largest, we have Bolivia in third place. Coming in hard and just scraping second, we have Cameroon with 6.56 inches, and then casting a large shadow over the competition, in first place we have Ecuador with 6.93 inches on average. Watching in disbelief from 66th place, we have the UK with 5.17 inches. If you want to see where your country placed, here is the full 86. Feel free to pause. But the question is this list correct?
Who even makes a list of that? That's weird.
This girl from Ohio got reincarnated after she claimed she was Cleopatra's servant, and her memories were terrifyingly real. In 1963, in the quiet town of Ashford, Ohio, a little girl named Emily was born. From a young age, she said strange things that her parents couldn't explain. At just 4 years old, Emily told her mother, "I used to live in Egypt. I was a servant to Cleopatra." Her parents laughed, thinking it was just a child's imagination. But Emily didn't stop. She kept repeating it every day. As Emily grew older, her memories grew clearer. By the time she was 6, she could draw and write in ancient Egyptian symbols, even though no one had taught her. She talked about the royal palace as if she had lived there, describing the rich scents of perfumes and the grand stone floors. When Emily turned 18, her parents took her on a trip to Egypt. They were curious but still unsure of what was going on. When they arrived at the Great Pyramids, Emily moved through the ancient halls like she had been there before. She pointed out rooms no one else knew about, walked through secret passageways, and described hidden chambers in detail. At one point, Emily stopped in front of a small chamber and said, "This is where I used to sleep." Her parents were shocked because there was no sign of a room like that on any tour. A few days later, they found a hidden tomb in one of the pyramids. Inside, they discovered a mummified servant dressed in robes, and it looked exactly like Emily. The tomb was unmarked, but above it was a symbol Emily had been drawing since she was a child. Emily's parents couldn't explain it. Some people believe she was Cleopatra's servant in a past life, reincarnated to walk the earth again.
See, because you guys believe in a past life reincarnation? I mean, everything she said was lining up. They went and tore everything. She was just opening secret passages, secret rooms. It's kind of hard to ignore that evidence.
Because everyone's talking about the possible serial killer in Grand Junction, Colorado, let me tell you about one of their most infamous murder cases. The Blacks were a picture-perfect family of born-again Christians until November 13th, 2001, when Michael came home to a pool of blood. His wife Jennifer and 6-year-old daughter Abby missing. The back door was left open, Jennifer's purse was spilled out on the floor, and her jewelry was missing. But when authorities looked at the crime scene, something was off. If a stranger had broken into their home, why would they leave items of value behind, like guns and cash? And why would they move the bodies in Jennifer's van and return it to the family's garage? In May the following year, investigators start digging through the Mesa County landfill, and after removing 3,000 tons of trash, they find the mummified remains of Jennifer Black, wrapped in a tent and surrounded by trash from her husband's workplace. Michael was convicted for only his wife's murder in 2004, but 13 years later he got a second shot at freedom. It turns out a juror lied on her questionnaire about being a victim of DV. In 2018 he got the same result, life in prison without the possibility of parole. And despite being convicted twice, he refuses to reveal the location of his 6-year-old daughter Abby. It's believed her remains are still deep in the Mesa County landfill.
The Jeffrey Epstein Island has one of the most disturbing histories in America. Nobody really knows the full truth behind it. The island was owned by millionaire Francis Sheldon. Him and a number of local men from Michigan, including this guy, Gerald S. Richard, ran a boys group on the island. So what would they do? They would fly kids on this airstrip to the island. Parents were told that the island was for fun and for the kids to relax. Keep in mind that this camp was literally ran for years. Well, eventually the kids started telling their parents that these counselors or teachers were actually behaving in very inappropriate ways to them. The kids were then told to go into these cabins where the counselors would tell them to take their clothes off and would even assault them. I'm running out of time, so please like and follow for part 2.
Girl is in the Florida State Starbucks video, and when you hear what she went through, this whole situation is gonna piss you off even more. The girl who was on the floor dying and being recorded by someone who had no regard for her life was revealed to be 23-year-old Madison Askins, and her story is absolutely insane. So Madison was walking with a friend when they started to hear shots, so they both took off running, but Madison unfortunately fell. Her friend tried to help her up, but then Askins was shot in the behind, and her friend ran to safety, which she said was valid. And as Askins laid on the ground wounded, she remained calm, didn't move, and played dead. She said, I released all the muscles in my body, closed my eyes, and held my breath, and I would take short breaths in between when I needed to. She said at one point she thought the suspect walked away, so she was gonna shift over to grab her phone and share her last I love yous with her family, and she wanted to call her dad and say she loved him. But then she heard the suspect approach and reload his weapon, and under his breath say, yeah, keep running. She said, I know for certain if I was moving, he would have shot me again. I mean, can you imagine? The suspect eventually left, and sometime after that, the girl holding Starbucks casually walked by, recorded her, and posted it everywhere. Authorities then came over, packed her wound, and said that they got him. Askins will likely stay in the hospital for several more days because she still has the bullet lodged in her vertebrae and will have it removed in a later surgery. But Askins said this isn't gonna slow her down. She's so glad to be with her family and she's not gonna let it tear her down. Prayers to this poor girl. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
This is a true horrifying story, part 25. Warning, this is not a joke. The information that's going to be shared is dangerous and life-threatening. Do not, under any circumstance, commit the actions that will be narrated. This is the world's most dangerous book ever, Shams al-Ma'arif. This book was written by Ahmad al-Buni in the 17th century. But technically, the author of this book is not a human being. I never did and will never read this book. And this is your second warning. do not read this book. Ahmed al-Buni practiced black magic, and he was in contact with the most powerful jinns and demons before he passed away. The jinns were the authors of this book. The elder generations, like our moms and dads, have heard about this book, and they were warned by it. There are thousands of horrifying stories of people who read this book. Shams al-Ma'arif explains everything about black magic, how to get in touch with the world of jinns, how to marry a jinn, and the sacrifices you have to do for the devil, and much more. Unfortunately, this book can be easily found online. One day, a Saudi Arabian man that read hundreds of books for a living decided to read this book specifically out of interest and love for all books, without fearing the consequences behind it. He reached the chapter that teaches readers how to get married to a female jinn. He laughed about it. He tried the ritual to experiment it. The first night after finishing the whole book and completing the marriage ritual, he felt someone breathing next to his face. And on the second night, he felt a hand touching his feet. And on the third night, he heard her voice. The man was officially locked in a marriage with a demon. 5 years go by. He met a normal, beautiful woman that he fell in love with, and they both decided to get married a week before the wedding day. The bride, the bride's parents, and the groom's parents all pass and die in 3 different car crashes. These are the consequences behind this book. And it's also known from many stories of people that have died from reading the first few pages. If you don't finish reading the book, you will get killed. All my stories, all of them, are true incidents that happened one time only. But this book is a product that is permanently available online. I beg you, do not go anywhere near Shams al-Ma'arif. This video is to educate you on the dangers behind this book. Do not go anywhere close to the world of jinns.
I won't. I take heed to his warning. As always, man. The fact that it's online is even crazier. People still have access to that.
Worst deaths imaginable, number 16, and it's also a theme park death. Viewer discretion is advised. And for this one, we are going to Queensland, Australia. Sorry, Jared, I know this is your neck of the woods, but I just had to do this one. This is a theme park called Dream World. It opened in December of 1981. It now includes 47 different attractions, including 4 roller coasters. In December of 1986, it opened Thunder River Rapids, a ride much like many others around the world, where you would board a raft like this one that simulates what a raging river would be like. In October of 2016, a horrible tragedy would occur that would shut the ride down forever. 6 passengers boarded one of the rafts: Kate Goodchild, Luke Dorset, Ruzba Argai, and Cindy Lowe. Also on the raft were 2 children, Kieran Lowe and Ebony Goodchild. Now, at the end of this ride, much like all the other rides just like this one, you go up a conveyor belt that will lead you to the place where you depart. Now, when you get to the top, the water is supposed to be there to kind of help bring the raft along. But on this day, the water levels were not where they were supposed to be. There were 2 large water pumps, and one of those pumps had failed. The water pumps are absolutely essential to this ride operating safely and properly. But because of the failure of one of them, the water levels rapidly dropped. Now, what happened was, one raft got to this area, the water levels were dropped, and so the raft itself got stuck. And then the raft holding the 6 passengers I mentioned earlier, well, this happened. I'll give you a trigger warning, but this is just an animation. So the raft with the 6 passengers on it flipped. The picture behind me is the aftermath. There is nothing graphic about it, but this is the end result. And yes, this is the exact photo. By some miracle, the 2 children were actually thrown to safety, but sadly the 4 adults would not be so lucky. Again, nothing graphic is shown here, but what happened was that when the boat flipped, it flipped completely over. And 2 of the adults got stuck under the raft and they drowned. Drowning takes a while. Drowning is considered one of the worst ways to go. Now, the other two, because the ride's operator didn't know which emergency stop button to hit them both. The conveyor belt was still going, and two of the adults got trapped inside the conveyor belt, and they were slowly crushed to death, slowly and painfully. Thunder River Rapids was then permanently closed.
It should be.